It was a good bounce-back game for the Athletics. After a tough loss on Friday, the A's took Game 2 last night in Anaheim, scoring early, showing off some defense. And Edwin Jackson continues to impress as he went 7+ innings, shutting out the Halos. Today, in the rubber match of the series, another veteran, Trevor Cahill, gets the ball and will look to win the series before the Athletics head home for another long homestand. A's and Angels, Game 3, next. Hey, it's Getaway Day at the Big A. It is also the rubber game of the series between these two AL West rivals as Trevor Cahill is going to get the baseball and try to win a series for the Athletics. It's the A's and the Angels coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball, along with Ray Fosse. I'm Glenn Kuiper. Well, the A's got a terrific start from Edwin Jackson last night. Ray, no earned runs, 7 1/3 innings, and today it's Trevor Cahill, and he's been pitching well lately.
You know, he's a great getaway day pitcher because he likes to work quickly, but what he has done also is throw a great changeup and a curveball, something that he has added to go along with a two-seam fastball to generate a lot of ground ball outs. Remember, against the Orioles, he had 12 strikeouts. 10 in his last start against the Tigers. He's been pitching outstanding baseball with the curveball and the changeup. If he needs a sinker to double play, he can throw that as well. But he has actually made himself a better pitcher, especially with the curveball and the changeup.
Now, offensively, the A's have hit 5 home runs in this series. 2 last night by Marcus Semien. For more on that, let's head downstairs to Dallas Braden. Dallas, Marcus likes hitting against these Angels, doesn't he?
He sure does. Pretty comfy here at the Big Hats in Anaheim. Had an outstanding game last night. Leadoff double, couple long balls as well against the lefty, the big curveball. But for Marcus Semien, a guy who's seen him shuffle around from the top of the lineup to the bottom and back up, very comfy in Anaheim. 286, 318, a 762 slash line here in Anaheim. That's the highest of any park. So for Marcus Semien, get comfy here against the Halos.
All right, so let's see if Marcus Semien, Trevor Cahill, and the rest of the A's can win a series this weekend here in Anaheim before heading home for what is going to be a huge homestand, and we are looking forward to getting home. So we'll have lineups at first pitch. When we come back, it's the A's and the Angels coming up on NBC Sports California.
by Toyota. Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try something different, like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Only at Jack in the Box for a limited time.
Well, welcome back to Angel Stadium of Anaheim on a nice warm Sunday afternoon. Rubber game of this 3-game series between the A's and the Angels. Let's check out the game time weather, which is brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. 87 degrees and feels like maybe a little bit more humid today than the last couple days down here in Southern California.
Unfortunately, that's been the problem, but Greg put a nice fan below us here, so we got some ventilation. It's nice and cool here. Dallas, how you feeling?
Oh, I'm doing great, boys. It's always hot down here on the playing surface, whether you're the Halos or the A's.
Did you find an umbrella?
I got myself an umbrella. I am stashed. Like I said yesterday, Foss, the sun is always shining when you're cool.
Yeah. Well, you know what? At least Dallas didn't wear a black shirt. I mean, that's we're always looking out for our good friend Dallas. All right, here's the A's starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Nick Martini's going to lead off in left. Matt Chapman is going to be at third. Jed Lowry's at second. Chris Davis, 7 home runs in his last 11 games. He is on fire. Then it's Matt Olson. Mark Canha's going to play center. Simeon, Pinder, and Fegley. That's your A's starting lineup.
And the right-hander's name is Taylor Cole. And we talked last night. Jeez, how about a first career start? What a shock. Maybe they took some help from the Tampa Bay Rays, but Taylor Cole starting today. You look at his numbers on the season, as he has been in 8 games with a record of 0-2. Good fastball, mid-90s with the heater, 4-seam. Of course, coming out of the bullpen, slider and changeup. And just to question him how long he's going to go today.
Defensively for the Angels, Upton is in left, Young is in center, Calhoun is in right. Jose Fernandez is at third, David Fletcher at short, Caleb Coward at second, Albert Pujols at first, and Francisco Arcia. He pitched last night.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah,
I said I'll pitch one night, catch the next.
So, kind of like Little League, right?
And you know what? He threw the ball to second about the way he pitched last night, about 70 miles an hour. That was it. But got the job done very efficiently.
So Nick Martini steps in. We're ready for baseball. Angels won on Friday night by a score of 4-3. A's last night, lots of offense, 7-0.
Tyler Skaggs back on the DL after last night, so he gave up 7. That's the only runs given up, and bullpen did a good job, including their catcher today, Arcia.
So Taylor Cole, he kicks and delivers the first pitch of the game, and it's in there for a strike. Umpires today, that's Stu Shearwater calling balls and strikes. Corey Blazer's at first, Chris Siegel's at second. Eric Cooper is the crew chief. He's going to hang out down at third. And a quick 0-2 to Nick Martini.
And we always say, and again, Dallas knows better than anybody with the heat down on the field, but bottom line, if you're a home plate umpire today, as a hitter, you know, it's almost like the final day of the season. Mike Witt out on Friday night with Vladimir Guerrero. He pitched a no-hitter, perfect game on the final day of the season. Those guys are swinging. You're fine if you take more than one pitch.
Well, Martini sees 3 pitches. He strikes out, and that's out number 1 here in the first.
Good day for fastballs.
That's right.
Nice and hot, and you mentioned it, Foss. Good fastball from this young man here early on, Taylor Cole, excuse me.
So 1 away, and here's Matt Chapman. So indeed, the breakdown for Taylor Cole. Lots of sliders. So who knows? As you said, Ray, we don't know how long Taylor Cole's going to go.
Well, the good news, nobody's warming up yet,
Not yet.
for the Angels.
But it is going to be a bullpen game for the Angels, so we will see a whole bunch of pitchers for the Angels today. Oh, and it hits Chapman on the back.
It's a fastball. He's throwing 5 pitches, all fastballs. First one, actually, first 4 were strikes with a fastball. This one, though, in the left hip. Matt Chapman, let's hope he got a lot of his belt. Sounded like he got more than his belt.
So the A's have a base runner the hard way, and here's Jed Lowry. Lowry at 265 with 17 home runs, 68 runs batted in, 27 doubles. He's got a triple. So a fine season for Jed Lowry. In this series, Lowry is 2 for 8. He has also walked, and he has scored a run. Outfield shifted well toward left with Upton shallow. Young into left center field, and Calhoun well off the line and right. So a quick 0-2 from Taylor Cole to Jed Lowry.
You know, Arcia last night threw nothing but fastballs. His catcher, he's called nothing but fastballs today. So maybe there's a pattern here. Or establishing the fastball early in the game.
That one blocked by Arcia.
Well, you're going to have to be able to keep balls in front, especially with a high percentage breaking ball guy coming into the game very early. You know his MO is going to be expand. If he can get ahead early, even with strike one, he's going to be looking to work the peripheral of the zone.
Chris Davis waits in the on-deck circle, just underway from Anaheim. That one is lined down the left field line, fair. Chapman rounds the bag. At second, he's headed for third. Matt Williams takes a look at Upton and sees that he picks it up cleanly along the foul line. So he stops Chapman at third. Lowry with the double, and the A's are in business.
Well, career hit number 1,000 for Jed Lowry, and what a beautiful thing this is. A pitch up and away, and he takes it perfectly to left field. And that's what a good hitter is able to do. This may be out of the strike zone. It kept moving away. And if you're thinking about pulling that pitch, you're going to strike out or roll over. Instead, he goes with it perfectly. And as a left-handed hitter, the doubles machine, Jed Lowry, what a surprise. His 1,000th hit is a double. Matt Chapman, hit looks okay, good speed, able to get to third, and A's have a chance to take an early lead if they can just put the ball in play.
So maybe fitting that Jed Lowry's 1,000th career hit is a double. Yep. He's sort of a doubles machine.
Yep. And guys, as he was coming around the first base line here, gave himself a nice little fist pump. I'm a big fan of that. Acknowledging something, hey, not too many people get to achieve. 1,000 knocks at the big league level.
You know, Albert Pujols did it Friday night in both leagues. Amazing.
Davis hits a towering pop-up and will reach the seats. So the count 1-1.
Well, the A's scored first in Friday's game and last night. Trying to do it again this afternoon. And Friday night did not score after the first inning. Last night they did. Difference is a loss and a win in those two games. Infield back as is usual in the first inning. Anybody but the pitcher and first baseman? Maybe. Pitcher for sure. Pujols, maybe.
That one is driven right center. Eric Young playing over that way. He grabs it. Chapman tags. Chapman hustles home. Lowry goes to third, and it's a sacrifice fly for Chris Davis, and the A's lead 1-0.
Once again, as we have said in this season since KD started, a lot of home runs, but also driving in runs. His 93rd with a sac fly to center field. And that is just a good piece of hitting. I mean, you think about it, if he hits 45, 43, and all those other at-bats, he does what he just did, who knows how many runs he's going to drive in. Great piece of hitting for Jed Lowry, and of course guys know the numbers. He said yes, that's number 1,000. Let's turn it into a double, and I think that's a combination of a good at bat, good result. Just like that
shot. Calhoun's going to play it on a hop. Lowry will trot into score, and it's 2-0 the A's lead. And Calhoun, we've seen him be very aggressive in the outfield, and that would be a ball you would die for if you think you got a shot at it.
This is an absolute linear coming off the bat of Matt Olson. Cole Calhoun, really a combination of self-preservation and trying to keep the ball in front. not something you just want to readily line yourself up right in front of. That ball was an absolute seed.
I think also about the fly ball hit by Chris Davis. It turned out to be Jed Lowry going to third. If he stays at second with the arm of Calhoun, he probably doesn't score. So that's a plus run for the Athletics. And of course, Matt Olson, after the game last night, he did not start, but came in, hit a rocket to first base to Pujols. After the game, looking at the video, so maybe he picked up something because he hit another rocket today.
So for Olson, his 55th RBI.
Nothing better than a 2-out ribby.
So 2-0 the count to Mark Cannon. Edwin Jackson terrific last night. 7 in the third innings, 3 hits, no runs, and 6 strikeouts.
We kept seeing him wiping. He said, I had so much perspiration on my hand I couldn't try it. The uniform was soaking wet. Tried to go to the rosin, but pitched a great game to help the Athletics in the bullpen.
Got a bunch of runs early, and that certainly makes a difference. The A's, in fact, think about it. Friday night, they scored 3 runs in the first inning. Last night, they scored 5 runs in the first 3 innings, and today, a couple runs here in the first. So they have jumped out to the lead in each of the games in this series. But outside. Now it's 3-1. Let's look back at some of the highlights from Edwin Jackson's performance last night.
Well, we talked about his lack of run support except for the game Toronto that he got a 4 spot early. And last night he got runs. He did a great job as he and Jonathan Lucroy worked very well together. And both thinking that even though you get run support, you pitch it. And Dallas probably, you could attest the fact that if you get run support, you still pitch the game like it's a scoreless or a 1-run game.
Well, that's the idea. Is you get the runs that you need. It now just sort of enhances your attack mode, your game plan. It allows you to take it to that next level. You still want to pitch with the same focus. You don't want to give anything away, but it actually allows you to attack the strike zone with a little more fervor.
So full count with 2 outs. Olson will take off. Pujols playing behind him. That one is hit high and foul.
It's just like Cole might have slipped when he made the pitch. Something happened as it fell off towards first base.
So 20 pitches in the first inning for Taylor Cole. I guess in a perfect world, Mike Scioscia would have got a nice quick inning from Cole.
Started out 3-pitch strikeout to Martini.
Another foul ball. Well, today any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. So Olson will run again. And that hit Canna. So a couple of hit batters here in the first inning.
Charles Nega is coming out, and check on Mark Canna.
Yeah, and that right there, that sound you hear, that sounds, it almost sounded like it hit the knob from down here, but it clearly did not. Very fleshy.
But Stu Sherwold, the home plate umpire, walked halfway to the mound and then looked to the Angels dugout, and that's when Charles Nagy came out, almost as if Sherwold wanted the pitching coach to come out. Because that's 2 hit batters. And neither one intentional, but it just, the fastball got away to Chapman and to Canna. Here's a young man trying to get through the first inning. They are moving around in the Angels bullpen.
So the meeting is over. And the good news is Canna is going to stay in the game.
Well, if you're thinking players should take one for the team, don't ever think that way.
And balls squirts away from Arcia, and both runners move up. So the A's alert base running. Ball did not roll a long ways away from Arcia, but you have to go right away.
Yeah.
And both the A's runners did that.
That's a great call, because with the ball in the dirt, it did not get far away. But if you do not have the secondary lead, of course, the runner at first can is very good about that. But he had to wait to see what Olsen was going to do. And without being held at second base, Matt able to get the big lead.
So 1-1 to Marcus Semien, who's a hot hitter. Dallas talked about Semien's success against the Angels and here in this park, not just this weekend, but really he's always hit pretty well against the Angels.
He's got 11 RBIs this year against Anaheim. That's the most against any opponent.
A couple of home runs last night.
Well, both of them. That just reacted on a curveball against Skaggs down the left field line, and it's a 2-strike pitch. Crushed fastball. A ball that landed in the Angels bullpen, which again is tiered in left field with the Angels behind.
Milestone men, indeed. Oakland A's milestone home runs. Marcus Semien last night hit Oakland A's home run number 8,000. So done by a Bay Area kid. That's kind of fun.
Very nice. Giambi's, I think 4,000 was in Boston, I would say. Stand corrected.
Oh, knocked down by the shortstop Fletcher. Run's going to come in to score. They give him an error on that?
No, base hit.
Base hit. I thought he said he's 6. So it's a base hit indeed. That's an RBI, and now it's 3-0.
Yeah, a good at bat by Marcus Semien.
You know it, Voss. Another great at bat by Marcus Semien. Continues to spoil pitches. Gets something he can handle. Get the top hand involved. Shoot it right into that 6-hole.
Might mention it's Fletcher. I know Kite gave the lineup. Fletcher Simmons a late scratch. He was in the original lineup, the Gold Glove shortstop. Who knows if he makes that play or not. But one thing he would have done is throw the ball to third, because Cannon rounded the back. But Fletcher just made sure he corralled the ball.
So the 8th man to bat in this inning is Chad Pinder, and he swings and misses at the first pitch he sees.
It was almost like when he hit Chapman. It was an 0-1 fastball. That would have been 5 consecutive fastballs he had thrown. And ever since that happened, he's just kind of imploded. Give the A's credit for taking advantage of it.
So action out in the bullpen. We will say that a lot today.
Alvarez.
Well, and anytime you're a reliever who is not accustomed to starting ball games and you find yourself in this sort of situation early on, it's the first inning, you yourself, you've never been here. You don't know how to react to these sorts of situations. So for Taylor Cole, I feel his pain. I understand what's being asked of him. It's uncomfortable, but at the big league level, you've got to be able to make those adjustments. And he'll tell you that whether it's the start of the ball game or late in a high leverage situation.
Was it Babe Ruth started the game, didn't like the first call, and was ejected after 1 out?
Yeah. Probably had a cocktail in his hand by the second inning.
Bullpen came in. I think it was a perfect game, but it wasn't because of Babe Ruth as a 2-pitcher. So yeah, to Dallas's point, you got to be prepared. You never know. Injury, we saw it in Toronto, back-to-back games with Triggs and Anderson. They're out early in the game, and this time with runners at first and third, good block by Arcia to at least smother the ball enough to keep it close. And Semien at first base not able to take advantage of that. It was too close to him, and with 2 outs, you don't want to take a chance.
Two pitch, and that's a swing and a miss. So Pinder strikes out, but a big inning for the A's. They get 3 runs on 3 hits, couple of hit batters, 3-0 after a half an inning. Angels, their starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Calhoun, Upton, Otani, Pujols, Fernandez, Fletcher, Cowart, Arcia, and Young. That's the Angels lineup.
Trevor Cahill in his last start left with a 2-0 lead, but saw his club add 4 more runs with a couple of 2-run home runs. But Trevor Cahill, as we detailed in our open, 10 strikeouts, had 4 ground ball outs and 4 fly ball outs, but the 10 strikeouts, the changeup, and his curveball working very effectively, and tries to do that again against the Angels this afternoon.
Martini, Canna, and Pinder in the outfield for the A's. Chapman, Simeon, Lowry, and Olson on the infield. Fegley is the catcher. So Jonathan Lucroy getting the day off, as is Stephen Piscotty. First pitch to Cole Calhoun is up and away. Calhoun at 212, 16 home runs, and 46 runs batted in. One for 8 in the series. That one hit, a big one, a home run on Friday night. He golfs this one down the right field line. That's going to be fair. A couple of hops off the wall, and Calhoun has a double. So that's how the bottom of the first starts.
It's called predictability, unfortunately, after missing with the first pitch, and Calhoun, a little ambush of the second, figured he's going to get a fastball. He did. Got under a ball that was not a bad pick from Trevor Cahill. Maybe location not exactly where he wanted it, but Pinder had to hustle to hold Calhoun to a double.
Pitchcast brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. And here's Justin Upton.
We talked about Jackson and Lucroy working very well last night with an early lead. Fegley and Cahill have to do the same this afternoon.
Good first pitch to Upton right on the outside corner.
Because unfortunately in big league baseball, that if you just start throwing nothing but heaters, you're going to find yourself either tied or behind quickly.
Find yourself backing up home.
Exactly. Too much.
So there's the first inning struggles for Trevor Cahill. ERA of 5.5.
Well, he had it in his last start against the Tigers, had the bases loaded, ended up getting out of the jam and settled down after that. So maybe it's something about the first inning. But you know, I'm thinking, Kipe, that this is one place that if a starting pitcher, a visiting pitcher, leaves the bullpen, comes the dugout, he doesn't have to worry about stiffening up because it's warm enough that he can stay loose in the time that he is spending while his club's scoring 3 runs, as the A's did.
Upton hits it right up over our head. Count now
1-2. As a starting pitcher, if there's any incentive to work quickly and work down in the zone right now, it's the temperature on the field. Sort of reminds you of Texas. Want to get out of the heat and back into the cool dugout.
One-two pitch in the dirt, and the count 2-2. This was before the game, and our good friend Dallas Braden, we were a little worried about him here. He looked like the football coach going through two-a-days.
Not much shade down here on the track.
Looks like you have managed to get a decent setup anyways to keep you out of the sun. It is hot.
My favorite was Casey Chavez in Texas before they had covering in the bullpen. He manufactured his own cover. That was great. Kind of like Dallas. You know, you do what you have to do to get some shade.
Coming in is Canna in center, and Canna makes the catch. So Upton is retired. 1 out for Shohei Ohtani. All right, for you scoreboard watchers out there, I'm one of them, guilty as charged. Mariners 2, Astros nothing, bottom of the 8th.
Are you serious?
How about that? Wow. So we'll keep a close eye on how that game finishes up in the final inning and a half. Again, the Mariners 2-0 over the Astros. Seattle going for the 4-game sweep in Houston.
If they do that, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves tomorrow night.
Yes, they should be. That's pretty impressive. First pitch is in for a strike.
Do we have our two-fisted cameraman today? He just only one today. We're just going to go some still shots. First time.
GoPro on the railing.
Oh, I got the video next. I think he decided two hands not going to work. Get some quality. Get it.
Trying for third is Calhoun, and he is just in there. Chapman had to move a little bit to make the catch, and when you do that, sometimes you get that tag on the feet. And he almost did.
And the problem, Fegley blocked the ball, did a good job, but he didn't react quickly enough. If he had reacted as soon as, right there, see, he hesitated, and if he had gotten it immediately, he probably would have gotten Calhoun because he has a very strong arm, but hesitated just enough. And to your point, Cap, having to have Chapman jump over Calhoun sliding in. Now the infield will play back, so see if Cahill can get a strikeout. Calhoun's going to walk all the way home.
And good pitch there on the inside corner. So now it's 1-2. Cahill with his 8th wild pitch. Wild pitches have been an issue for the A's this year. Thrown a lot of them.
And what if Calhoun came down and Cahill stepped off, ran straight to third base?
Ooh. And he got him. A changeup that kind of stayed on the inside corner, but a big strikeout.
Well, that is a big strikeout, especially with Calhoun going to third base. Another disappointed cameraman with the camera. I wonder if he got a shot of this swing. Maybe take a picture of Cahill. Outstanding pitch, and 10 strikeouts his last start. It's a big one in the first inning. Struck out a batter against the Tigers in his last start with the bases loaded to end the inning, and then settled down.
So now Albert Pujols steps up. Pujols takes a pitch in the dirt.
Again, as we've noticed in this series, if the A's more straight up, Lowry to the first base side of second, Olsen off the bag, but appreciating the fact that Albert Pujols will take a ball to the opposite field to try to drive in a run.
Swing and a miss. That one, a little cutting action away from Albert Pujols.
That's been part of the evolution for Trevor Cahill. Throwing the four-seamer up in the zone at times, cutting the baseball as well.
Up the middle, and it's going to get through into center field for a base hit. Calhoun comes in to score. Albert Pujols with a 2-out RBI hit.
The RBI machine over the course of his illustrious career, Albert Pujols. We've talked about it ad nauseum, the big guys that have the ability to cut that swing down, not try to do any more than the situation calls for, and that's what we saw here out of Albert Pujols. Pitch middle right back up through the box.
Oh, look at that. It's just 25 RBIs away from 2,000. That's a base hit to right field by Jose Fernandez. Pujols stops at second. 3 hits in the inning for the Angels. And here's David Fletcher, right-handed hitter.
But another pretty good pitch to hit. Unfortunately for Cahill, the ball stayed upper about thigh high, and Fernandez was not going to wait around. Sometimes the best pitch you're going to see is the first one. Cahill needs to get out of this right now because he's got a 3-1 lead. He ends up a 2-out base hit. You know, to that point about Semien, when he went for the ball, if a runner's in second, he might see him dive to knock it down, but a runner in third, there's no reason, because even if you knock it down, the run's going to score. Pujols is going to have a base hit. So that's sometimes you don't leave your feet, save your body.
Semien has this one, flips to second, and the side is retired. A run on 3 hits for the Angels. 3-1 Athletics after 1.
Price for $49.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription to MLB At Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv to take advantage of this special offer. $50? Oh, that's pretty good, man. The rest of the season.
Watch the pennant race.
Right. See a lot of baseball. Pick who you want to watch. I mean, pick the team, broadcasters.
It'll be Fegley, Martini, and Chapman here for the A's. A's with 3 runs on 3 hits in the first inning. A couple of 2-out RBI hits, that helps. Fegley bounces it foul.
And Fegley, a guy who hasn't had a ton of opportunity behind the dish or at the plate, but when he does, takes advantage. And just being able to watch a guy like Fegley day in and day out during BP, some of the best rounds, the most consistent approach. I really enjoy watching him get his work in.
Well, he works at it. That's the important thing for a backup catcher. And, you know, with the off days this past week, he caught last weekend. So, I mean, it's something that if you're not back there, matter of fact, he caught Trevor Cahill in his last start, which would have been last weekend. A lot of fans in the stands today.
A lot of fans with fans.
And not a lot of fans in right field. I mean, those seats are glistening with the hot sun, and a lot of people are under the overhangs along the first and third base lines, and those people dealing with the sun do have the fans.
Yeah, you could fry an egg on those seats during
right.
the day game. Fegley strikes out. That's 3 strikeouts for Taylor Cole.
That's it.
And that's the exact amount that he's going to finish with. So you eat the pizza first, and then use the top of the pizza box as a fan. It's
doubles as an AC unit.
Not a terrible idea. So Taylor Cole goes an inning and a third, and we must remind you folks, it's a bullpen game for the Angels. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
Brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
So 3-1, top of the second. We have our first pitching change of the day. So Taylor Cole, an inning and a third. Throws 37 pitches. And now it's Jose Alvarez, the left-hander, who comes in to face Nick Martini. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner.
Came in and appeared Friday night against Matt Olson. Tired him, the only batter he faced.
That one cued foul toward Matt Williams. And a quick 0-2. Martini struck out in the first inning.
This is Jose Alvarez's 69th appearance on the season. That leads Major League Baseball. Excuse me, 60.
And Martini swings and misses. Nick Martini struggling some right now.
Good slider from the lefty here. Start him off early with a couple heaters. Expand away. Get that lefty-lefty matchup early on here in the second inning of this ball game.
Mike Scioscia, it's not unprecedented. He did this a few years ago against the A's. He used the whole bullpen, about 9 relievers. But the one thing that he did effectively, and he's done it already in this game, he had a right-hander start, so that's Martini in the lineup. Then Martini comes up again, he's got a lefty to face him. And the thing about Mike Scioscia and Charles Nagy, they'll manipulate the bullpen based on the lineup of the Athletics. And the thing is, too, if Bob Melvin decides to pinch it, let's say for Martini.
Chapman with another hit.
He may bring somebody else in.
Sure.
I mean, that's what he's going to do throughout this game. So it's incumbent upon the A's hitters as they face different guys. Chapman got hit by a right-hander. He hits a lefty. Great opposite field hitting by Matt Chapman. He's on base twice, so he continues his streak.
So Chapman continues to be a hot hitter, and here's Lowry. Lowry a double and a run scored in the first. Fouls the pitch straight back. Lowry splits, Ray, 258 as a right-handed hitter, 269 as a left-handed hitter. He's been pretty balanced all year long.
Yes, he has. Some big hits against lefties, hitting from the right side, but you know, again, the case where he hits left-handed his first at bat, next inning, he's hitting right-handed.
He's got 3 home runs right-handed, 14 left-handed. And he's behind in the count 0-2.
Well, I think back to early in the season when Jake Diekman came in to turn him around. The Rangers hit a 2-run double off the right field wall. And you know, we always saw with Coco Crisp, should they bring in a lefty to face him because his numbers right-handed weren't as good, but he always came through because those games that he did face a left-hander, he usually had some huge hits, and that was throughout his career with the Athletics.
Runs the 0-2 pitch off the plate inside.
But I think it also speaks to the versatility of having a guy like Jed Lowry, switch hitter. He's not a guy that you get out of the lineup. He's just a guy essentially you end up turning around.
Well, that may be it because usually day game after night game this late in the season, there are times that Jed Lowry will get the day off. He might have stayed in the game because he's a switcher.
Yep. So Lowry's going to be retired. No need to throw it to first with the runner there, and that will do it. So 3 strikeouts in the inning, and the A's do not score. Bottom of the second coming up. voice remote to get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Bottom of the second from the Big A.
Oh,
we know how you feel, young man.
Oh, be careful. Dallas, throw him your towel.
Yeah, do you guys know how he feels, or do I know how he feels?
Well, you know, but you better put a towel over his head because he's going to wake up and he's going to be scalded. That sun's hot. It's like going to the beach and falling asleep.
Yeah, he may be in the shade now. I think he's okay. Line to left. Martini is right there. He's got it. So Caleb Coward is retired. 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning.
All right, Trevor Cahill, you can settle down now. You got through the first inning. Gave up a 2-out base hit. Drive in a run. Another 2-out base hit. But you got Fletcher to ground out. That's 3 consecutive pitches thrown by Trevor to allow a couple of hits in the final out. See if he can settle down. His club can add more runs. Remember Friday night they scored 3 in the first, no more after that. Well, cannot allow that to happen today.
So here's the catcher, Francisco Arcia. So Arcia pitched the 9th inning last night. Gave up just 1 hit. Behind the dish today.
It's kind of fun in this game to watch. I mean, this is a 3rd inning, 2nd. And you see down in the Angels bullpen, guys are getting loose. They're stretching and running.
Different deal today. Got to be ready.
It is different. Wonder if it's like an all-star game where somebody's designated to be the final pitcher in case you have to go 8 or 9 innings or something. So you don't run out of pitchers.
Lowry dives. It goes off his glove, rolls into shallow right field. And Lowry's going to go for a little walk. Let's see. Did he get? How much leather did he get on this?
I just wonder if he got it on his hand when he did dive for the ball. He did get something on it. Oh, it got him up around the wrist. Maybe that's why he took his glove off. I'll tell you, a couple of rockets hit in this inning. 1 and out. This one, a rocket that, if it had been an out, it would have been a miracle. Instead, it's a base hit.
Well, not only did it look like it may have got some flesh, but then he rolled on that wrist a little bit.
Maybe what he's looking at or feeling right now.
He may not feel it at all. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It looked like it was not near the pocket where the ball hit the glove. If that was the case, he would have caught it. So it is a base hit. Here's Eric Young. Eric Young takes a little bit low.
Fooled me too. Stu Sherwalder's going to call a strike. And these 4 men in blue, though, today, they don't get any reprieve. The other teams, both teams go in the dugouts, but the ammonia water, that's good stuff this time of day.
Yep. Update from Houston. The Astros had enough. They scored 3 in the bottom of the 8th to take a 3-2 lead over the Mariners. The Mariners, their last chance in the top of the 9th, though Seattle could not hold that 2-0 lead.
Who pitched the 8th? I mean, if you're going for...
It was, I know that Vincent got knocked around, Nick Vincent.
You know what? You're going for a sweep with the first place team. Diaz, you got 2. You know? I know he's got 45, but
he's pitched a lot.
I know he has. But that's a big swing. That's 1 game. And
roll foul.
Easy for me to say.
Edwin, get up. Let's go.
Is that Edwin called? Of course, the low-scoring games, he may have saved all 3.
Edwin's arm may fall off. 2-2 the count to Eric Young. Cole Calhoun waits in the on-deck circle. Finkley moving around back there, blocks that one. So full count. We'll see if Arcia is on the move. long look. Now he's ready. Garcia with a decent lead at first.
Captain Great Juan Dorado, piece of information. Pazos and Vincent.
Yeah, Pazos started the inning.
Colomé and Diaz, neither one available today. Colomé, of course, the closer they acquired from Tampa Bay when Robinson Cano was on the suspended list.
Well, they both, I know they both pitched last night, and they may have both pitched the night before as well. There's a shot down the right field line. Arcia is going to head to third. Young trying for second, and he'll make it, and it is second and third with one out. A couple of hard hit balls, actually 3 straight hard hit balls here in the second inning.
Well, he goes down and gets this one too. I mean, that's a pitch down, and he went down, buckled his knees a little bit, and went down to open to right field. You see it on the move, and yeah, he's fortunate it was hit so hard. Pender got it back in quickly enough to keep Garcia at third.
So Eric Young with the double, and here's Cole Calhoun meeting at the mound between Fegley and Cahill. Well, that's 5 hits for the Angels.
There have been some hard hit balls for sure.
Well, we said it was going to be a bullpen game. We didn't want it to be a bullpen game for the A's.
Well, they struck out Ohtani with a runner at third and 1 out. Cole Calhoun is capable of being a strikeout victim, but not as easily, or at least did not figure in his new stance he's going to strike out much.
First pitch is close, but called a ball. Calhoun doubled and scored in the first. He scored on a 2-out RBI hit by Albert Pujols. Pretty good rip there by Calhoun. Fouls it back to the screen.
Well, you know, I like the approach of sort of attacking the hands and the height of the hands of Cole Calhoun. If you've understood sort of the process, the struggle that Cole Calhoun has endured over the course of the entire season, this is the approach that you might want to take just because Cole Calhoun is in a decision-making moment, what to do with his hands, how to approach and attack the baseball.
Bounced foul. Well, an opportunity for Cahill to get a strikeout. He's ahead in the count 1-2.
Well, he's been living down in the inner part of the plate to lefties. A lot of lefties in the lineup today against him. He has been more of the inner part of the plate down. That's why Young did a good job going down, getting a pitch that was in the inside part of the plate and down.
Another hard hit ball that's foul.
If he can get that breaking ball down, that's where the success has been for Cahill. Opponents are hitless against the curveball, located down in the last 13 at-bats, ending with a curveball. So if he can bury that thing and get it down, whether it's a punch out or put into play, it's usually successful for Trevor Cahill.
So another 1-2, pitch number 33 coming up. And it's foul back. Come on.
It's a hot day down there, man.
Come on.
He's sweating bullets. Why are you going to see Bubba, see what he got for
He's not on my team. I'm not picking him, Dallas. He's not on my team.
Going to need a better effort.
Yeah, a little hustle. We got guys running all over the diamond at the Coliseum, right? Yeah, diving. Yeah. Yeah. Right, Kuiper. Take a hike. Yeah. You know what? Fine. I'm good right here at the Big A. That's what he said.
He says, if I just sit here and I don't move, I don't sweat.
That ball was 12 to 15 feet away from me. Another 1-2. Good battle here. This is way high.
That was that four-seamer up for effect. Just a little higher than Cahill would have liked it. Try to execute higher than high, just out of the zone to tease the eye level, tease the hitter. Again, forcing him to make a decision with the hands. Am I going to try to get up on top and stay on plane with this fastball? Something I let go, but for Cahill, you got to think he's going to back that up with a curveball.
Another foul ball. So an 8-pitch at bat so far with runners at second and third and one out. It's a good battle.
I almost try to get in the chase mode now for Cahill, see if Calhoun can chase a bad pitch.
This is where you need Fegley to go to work, body up on that breaker down, Foss.
That's right, absolutely. Oh, just didn't go for it. Might as well back it up with another. Just go after it, figured 3-2. As the Osen goes at 2-2, it may go to the fastball. Good block by Fegley. Moved his body right, anticipating the break of the curveball in the dirt. Throws it again, he may get it. He's got to be sitting dead red after this being the 10th pitch. Plus, you don't have to give in to it.
3-2 pitch, here it is. It's bounced to first. And hustling home is Arcia. So Olsen, when he fielded it, he looked at the runner and just briefly thought about coming home, but got the sure out.
Well, they're running contact, and Arcia on the crack of the bat, he's gone. And Matt Olsen, tremendous footwork from the big fella over at first, a great throwing arm as well from Matt Olsen. And what you like to see is him anticipating the out, anticipating cutting off the run. When the game doesn't lend itself to making that heads-up play, you take the out. That's exactly what Matt Olsen did.
There's a difference of an infield end. The Angels under Mike Scioscia, I don't ever remember them not going on contact. And with the infield end, they do that. Then you can make the play. But with the infield back, as Olsen was playing back, and Arcia running on contact, it's a good time not to try to make the spectacular play. Late in the game, yes, but not now.
So Calhoun gets his 47th RBI. 1-1 the count to Upton. So runner at third, 2 outs. It's now a 3-2 game. In the dirt, blocked again by Fegley. So how about the game in Houston?
What happened, guys?
Well, the Astros needed one more out to salvage the final game of that series, and Ryan Healy hit a home run to tie the game with 2 outs in the top of the ninth.
Against?
Rondon.
Rondon, they're closer.
So it's now 3-3. Astros batting in the bottom of the ninth. Up the middle, and that's a base hit, and this game is tied. Eric Young comes in to score 3-3 here in the bottom of the second.
Well, back-to-back innings with a 2-out base hit to drive in a run, and Pujols did it, and now the veteran Upton does the same thing. Justin Upton with a base hit up the middle. Trevor Cahill not able to handle the ball, and with the infield spread up the middle, that's exactly where Upton hit it, and the double by Young comes around to score to tie the game. So the A's will have to score more if they're going to win this game. Obviously, 3 in the first. This is just the second inning.
Yusmeiro Petit's going to get up and start to throw. So Upton gets his 68th RBI. And that hit was very similar to Pujols' hit in the first.
Yep.
Yeah, so Ryan Healy, solo home run with 2 outs.
And here Rick Riz saying, holy smokes.
Yeah, holy smokes. That was home run number 22 for Healy. Tani takes a little bit outside.
Trevor Cahill pitched a game in Texas. That was on the 26th of July. The A's didn't win. He won the game, but A's gave him runs. He gave it up. The A's gave him more, gave it up. Well, they gave him 3 in the first inning today before he took the mound, and it's gone. The way things are going, and Petit warming up, he may not go 5.
6 hits. It's not been good this year on the road. Trevor Cahill has been terrific at home. But that ERA on the road is at 6.44.
What pitcher doesn't like the expansive foul territory at the Coliseum? I'm sure Mike Fiers was excited to pitch for the A's in that park.
All right, where's the camera? All right, so there's a camera on the headband now, which was on the railing in front. That gentleman's got it going on. That's Marcus Simeon, who throws to first.
Oh,
and that will
shucks.
So a couple of runs, and we got a 3-3 game. The happy hour also available to listen live and as a podcast on NBCSportsBayArea.com. Nice day here in Southern California. Very warm. That would not be a horrible place to be.
As long as you put up with the smoke. A lot of smoke in the area from Fiers. Not Mike. But the water is good down in Southern California. That's why Mike Trout, who's going to be a free agent after 2 years, he said he likes it down here, loves living on the beach.
How could you not? So Davis, Olsen, and Canna, RBIs since the All-Star break. Chris Davis leads the major leagues with 29, 5 more than J.D. Martinez.
Both men on a tear since the break.
This is a great shot going opposite field. Ball outside, and he takes it to right center against Skaggs. And a no-doubter, a bullet. Then he got a big base hit over the second baseman's head. Got a sac fly today to center field.
3 RBIs now for Chris Davis. Last year, he knocked in 110, so he's got a pretty good chance to surpass that number. He's had 44 games left after this game.
And the nice thing, too, no more interleague games on the road, so he can DH every game.
Sitting on a 3-2 count. Jose Alvarez came in with 1 out in the second inning. And strike 3 call. Davis, who very seldom do you see Chris Davis argue with an umpire, but he was not happy with that call. It looked like it may have been a bit below the strike zone.
Yeah, back door and low. So I'd say twice it's a ball. And he gave that sign of his hand down below his knees, and KD, you're right.
So 1 out. Here's Olson.
Looking at the back of Stu Shearwater, I don't know if the color of his shirt is that color all the time, but that could be perspiration.
I think it is.
He's got the chest protector on the back of it. It's like his back is soaked.
Yeah, he is. He has. He's got a full sweat going.
But you know, all the more reason a close pitch, swing the bat.
Absolutely.
Because that's a tough day for him. Looks like he's in pretty good shape.
And it doesn't mean that Stu Shearwater's saying, you know what, this is no fun, I'm calling a lot of strikes. It's just human nature.
Sure.
Let's keep the game going.
Yeah, and if it's close.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the deal. And we always talk about close pitches that could go either way, and the umpire calls a strike. Hitters are upset. But bottom line, this is it's a tough day to be an umpire. And Dallas Brady.
Wilson, a mighty swing, hits it foul off the protective netting.
Here he comes. All right, I've done my work for the day. Bubba, get some grub.
Wilson, another foul ball. This one to the left side.
That's not good when the catcher Arcia puts up both hands, and I have no idea where that ball is. Usually the catcher is going to tell off the crack of the bat, just the angle of the ball hitting the bat, whether it's going to be in play or not. That's not a good sign. That means you're dropping your head, you're blinking your eyes, and you're not seeing the ball off the bat.
So 2-2 to Olson, who had an RBI single in the first, and then he scored a run. And he's worked the count full.
By the way, Jim Johnson is up in the bullpen of the Angels. That was just announced by Ed Munson. Johnson, the tall right-hander, picked up a win, getting 1 out on Friday night.
Wilson rolls it foul. So I mean, I think having a bullpen game, it's not something you really want to do.
Right.
But if you do it, I think you can use it to your advantage if you're in this case the Angels,
Absolutely.
right? Like you talked about, you could do a little bit of matchups.
Right. I mean, they know the lineup, and I think because of the way lineups and rosters are set, you don't have many options to pinch hit.
That's right.
You know, so I mean, it's the game is starting, and
center field, maybe off the end of the bat just a little bit, and that's the second out.
And here comes Mike Socha. So he's got Mark Cannon coming up. So 5 batters for Alvarez. Jim Johnson comes in.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and repair experts.
means even more with the Mariners in town. Tomorrow night through Wednesday, now is the time to grab an affordable lower level ticket. $15 bar rapid deal day offers are available this Monday, that's tomorrow, and Wednesday, or grab a $20 lower level ticket Tuesday at athletics.com/town. Help us defend the town. Grab your seats today. And free parking Tuesday on Tuesday, so what a deal, man. That is a great one on Tuesday. $20 lower level ticket, and those are in the high rent district that you can have a 20 and then park for free. Come out and enjoy a great game of baseball, Mariners and your Athletics.
Jim Johnson takes over with 2 outs and nobody aboard here in the 3rd inning. And speaking of the Mariners, they have taken the lead in the top of the 10th inning. They tied the game at 3 with a 2-out home run by Healy in the 9th inning, and he just scored a run in the top of the 10th. So the Mariners are leading the Astros 4-3, still batting in the top of the 10th. That is the standings. The A's 3.5 back of the Astros, the Mariners 5 back, and of course keep an eye on the A's Mariners for the wild card. A's with just a 1.5 game lead over Seattle for that second wild card spot. The Yankees have already won their game. But looking at the Mariners, they're 8th in the league in ERA. They're 10th in the league in runs scored. Been a struggle for them for about a month now, but they're trying to grab their season back with a 4-game sweep in Houston. So that's the wild card. With the Yankees winning, the A's are now 5 games back of the Yankees for the #1 wild card spot. But really, there's nobody else involved. Yankees, A's, and Mariners. And that's about it, folks. Big story will be Robinson Cano returning on Tuesday for the Mariners. So that will be that'll be a big story, obviously, for Seattle.
And I think it'll be interesting moving forward to see how they utilize him.
That one is driven to right field. Calhoun on the move when we come back. Maybe we'll talk about what the Mariners will do with Cano when we come back. So 3 up, 3 down in. Look ahead as we're talking about that A's Mariners series. This is the season series. Mariners lead the season series 6-3. They've outscored the A's by 10 runs. Homers are even. A little bit better ERA for Seattle. The A's and the Mariners have 10 games left against each other the rest of the season. So look forward to tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun. All three games in the 3 series that the A's and the Mariners have left against each other. 2 of those 3 series will be at the Coliseum.
Yeah, well, those numbers, the A's haven't seen the Mariners this year. They saw them in the first season.
Before June 15th.
Yeah, before June. I saw them at home. And
it's our first meeting of the year. Pujols makes the catch. Or Pujols is retired, excuse me. We got the Mariners on our mind. So it's going to be Marco Gonzalez and Sean Manaea, a couple of pretty good left-handers Monday night. James Paxton, Mike Fiers. That's a good pitching matchup on Tuesday. Mike Leake and Brett Anderson will square off on Wednesday. So that's the pitching matchups. We'll have all 3 games for you right here on NBC Sports California.
Now, speaking of pitching, who's pitching for the Mariners right now?
Yeah, Edwin Diaz came in, and we've been told now that Edwin Diaz pitching today. He has pitched in each of the 4 games in that series. So 4 straight days for the closer, who's been sensational all year. But that leads you to believe I can't imagine he would be available tomorrow night. He has pitched a lot this year, and he's been great.
But if he wasn't available today, pretty good chance when they came back the way they did with Healy home run and then the run in the 10th inning, he may have called back, hey, Skip,
you know,
let's go.
I can give you one.
I can give you one inning.
Right.
We got a chance to sweep these guys. You know, I'm not available except under these circumstances. I'm willing to sacrifice. You know, Bob Melvin's philosophy has always been, let's win today, worry about tomorrow. Well, it's kind of be what the Mariners have to be thinking right now, especially in Houston.
Well, that's exactly how those conversations go. When you talk to your skipper early on before the game, he'll ask you, how you feeling? I might need a day. All right, you'll be just in case, emergency, last guy out. And then if you find yourself in the lead late in the game, you as the pitcher, as you said, Foss, make that phone call, let them know I've got 3 outs to give you. We didn't know that this was going to be the case. This is the situation, though, that I would be available in. We're here. I'm ready.
In the case of Edwin Diaz, his reputation alone may just be enough to get 3 outs in the bottom of the 10th inning. I mean, just the fact that he's had a phenomenal season, and I don't know, it's you got to win today.
And Fernandez lines out, 2 outs. Quick thoughts, you guys. Ray, Robinson Cano, what do you think the Mariners are going to or should do with him?
Well, I'd say personally, I think based on the way the Mariners have played this weekend, a 4-game series, that they have to be thinking about what we're going to do in October. And, you know, Healy and different guys are playing. You know, they have to realize that he's going to play, and he's going to be a big boost for them. Perhaps he's been on his rehab, hitting home runs at minor league level. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a tough call for Jerry DePolo, the general manager, and Scott Service, manager. As far as he's a star player.
But you got to play.
You've got to play.
Whatever happens with this suspension, he's a Hall of Fame player.
Absolutely, I agree, and he's got to play. But I think also, if you haven't been to postseason in the entire career of Felix Hernandez.
That's why
Felix Hernandez. I mean,
he's not going to play in the postseason if the Mariners would get there.
But you got to get there.
That to me doesn't mean anything, because that may just be one game. You got 45 games left.
I agree.
Dallas, what do you think?
It's not an enviable position, no doubt, because now you could very well end up sacrificing production and chemistry, trying to figure out what to do with Robinson Cano, understanding that you're not going to have him for the postseason. So now you could very well be messing with a good thing based on the way the team has performed without Robinson Cano.
No, I don't know how much young man has pitched, but Roberto Osuna was traded and acquired by the Houston Astros. What have they done since they acquired him? I mean, chemistry, when a team is playing well, chemistry is a huge part of that. I mean, look at the A's clubhouse and the way they've been performing and playing together. And you know, it's not an enviable position for Scott Service, because, I mean, I agree with you, Kai.
I mean, I just think
they've got to get there.
I agree with that, but it's also the last month the Mariners have not played well.
Exactly. But now they are, and so what did they do?
We're not talking about, some Joe average guy here.
No, you're right.
That's the whole point. We're talking about a Hall of Fame second baseman potentially being moved around the entire field to utilize and prevent and pose some flexibility. That's not a game plan I can get on.
How about this? Stick him at second base. Put Gordon back in center field, because he was fine for the first 2 months of the year.
Yeah.
And then let it go.
And then get there and then worry about it when they get there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Long run for Pinder, and it's going to drop just foul. But anyways, enough about that. It is an interesting situation that we will see first and foremost at the Coliseum on Tuesday night. Mariners coming to town.
Well, this ball, fortunately for the A's, just fouled by Coward because Fletcher was going to score. As he was rounding third by the time Pinder picked up the ball, he had a long run to even get to it. But, you know, we're still at a point in time that will be August the 14th when he comes back. And until the September call-ups, you're subtracting to add. So somebody's got to go, and it could be a marginal player. That the maneuvering around of players is going to have to happen. But he's a great player. He is a Hall of Famer.
So the Mariners won that game 4-3 over the Astros in 10 innings. That's a 4-game sweep in Houston. I don't think anybody saw that coming. So I'm going to give the Mariners a lot of credit. They put it together over the weekend. And got a badly needed huge weekend, and Diaz saved all 4 games. That's 46 saves.
Now, Kai, as we look around, is there an out-of-town scoreboard here?
No.
See, that's what they used to have in right field when they lowered the fence. They put that
yeah, no, there's not. Before the game they have it up, but yeah, now the big line score is out there in right field.
But there's not to watch during the game. That's the fun part. If you're watching as the game progresses.
I'm your guy, Ray.
Okay,
I'm your out-of-town scoreboard.
You got it. Oh, good.
Just call me Townie.
Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company.
Well, if you want to head over to Balboa Island, you got to get on the ferry. That's what those folks are doing. One of the great areas down here in Southern California. We're at the Big A in Anaheim. It's a 3-3 game, top of the 4th inning. So Jim Johnson, who is the 3rd pitcher of the afternoon for the Angels. Cole started, went an inning in the 3rd. Jose Alvarez went an inning in the 3rd. And now Jim Johnson. Marcus Semien with an RBI hit. That was 2-out RBI hit in the 1st inning. And so just because you're going to have a bullpen game like the Angels are doing, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to replace your pitcher at the end of every inning. And
yeah, exactly.
That's another area where you can kind of pick and choose a little bit. You saw Mike Scioscia do that. He left Alvarez, the left-hander, in there to get Olsen, and then he took him out to bring Johnson in because you got a whole, what do you got? 4 left-handed or 4 right-handed hitters coming up in a row before Martini at the top.
You know what I think is interesting, Kemp, is the fact that remember when the Tampa Bay Rays did that at Romo start a game? Remember some of the complaints by the Angels saying this is not fair. You know, we're accustomed to seeing the same pitcher for 3 at-bats or something. Well, guess what, guys? Today your manager's doing it, and you know it's the same thing. And
heck of an effort by David Fletcher, but Simeon's going to have an infield hit.
But you know, I think that's what's tough on a hitting team, because you could see a different pitcher every at bat.
That was kind of my point last
Exactly.
inning. It
Exactly.
can be an advantage for the pitching team.
Exactly. Great play by Fletcher, and Pujols making a smart play coming off, realized he didn't have a chance, but it was that close. But a tremendous effort by Fletcher, who could not handle the ball hit by Simeon in the first inning. Turned out to be an infield base hit.
So 5th hit for the A's. We'll bring up Chad Pinder, who struck out in the first.
I've always thought, and I think we discussed at the time, if you're hearing someone talk about it, then it's in their mind. You know, because you know, you think of the great Joe DiMaggio.
Bunted. Nice bunt. Jim Johnson throws, and Pujols keeps his foot on the bag. But not a bad idea by Pinder. It does get a runner into scoring position.
See, he gets a sacrifice. He was bunting for a base hit. If he gets the ball closer to the foul line, it's going to be a base hit. Johnson just threw the ball off balance, and fortunate for him, made a good throw to get Chad Pinder, who does get a sacrifice.
You got to applaud the effort of the big righty Jim Johnson. Not an easy play at all. Chad Pinder runs very well, even from the right side of the plate. So he had the only option was to make that do or die sort of play.
Fegley gets hit by the pitch. That's the 3rd A's batter to get hit by a pitch. That looked like a breaking ball.
It was. And you know, it's the same thing with Jim Johnson. When Pinder attempted to bunt, the ball ran in on him. It looked like it's going to be great, but then all of a sudden here comes the sinker, the 2-seamer that he throws. And this one, Fegley just turned away from it and took it on the side. Improved that on-base percentage. Second visit, I'd assumed it's a second visit for Charles Nagy. He came out when Cole was pitching, hit a couple of batters.
Well, it's usually relievers aren't too anxious in the first 3-4 innings or 5 innings, except maybe the long guy. But today, you better be ready to go.
Well, you're anxious today because you'd like to get in, get your work in, and maybe hit the AC of that clubhouse.
That's true. Coach, can I pitch first, please? No.
But again, let's not forget, this is not September, so we don't have an abundance of relievers. You know, you're limited. And granted, there are a lot of relievers, but and I think with Skaggs going on the DL last night, again, they brought up
Paredes, another reliever.
Right. So they have included, or at least added to, an already large bullpen, but you know, it's definitely a challenge in a sense, although Mike Scioscia has done it before. So it's not that big of a challenge, I guess. He knows what he's doing.
Well, one thing to think about also, Foss, is the DL, the 10-day DL, and the manipulation that teams can do. Send up a guy, down a guy, guys with options. So that's why I always have to consider now the AAA bullpen. That bullpen of the Salt Lake Bees is just an extension of the bullpen here in Anaheim.
2-0 to Nick Martini, who has struck out twice. And he takes low, and now it's 3-0. Chapman, a hot hitter, waits in the on-deck circle.
This is the 3rd different pitcher for Nick Martini, and we're just in the 4th inning.
There you go.
He's gone right, left, right.
He could easily see 5 different pitchers today.
Exactly.
So 3-1.
And we do not know what's going to happen in this inning. But I would think that Mike Scioscia is hoping that Jim Johnson could give him more than, well, give him a considerable number of at-bats.
Martini, good swing, fouls it into the 2nd level. So now the count is full. Simeon, the runner at 2nd, Fegley at 1st.
But Johnson's a sinker ball pitcher. He's got a good curveball. Do they send the runners?
Runners are not going, and it's another foul ball by Martini.
I say sinker ball pitcher because if a ball is hit on the ground, then you're avoiding the possibility of a double play, but with a left-handed batter. Fernandez, the third baseman, and the catcher, Arcia have a pretty good shot.
3-2 pitch. Hit into center field, and that's a base hit, and the A's are going to take the lead. Simeon comes in to score. Fegley hustling around to third. Martini comes through. 4-3 A's.
And in Chicago, you could have put a napkin on that ball, and the same one he hit in Chicago, his first major league hit to drive home the go-ahead run. This time he hits the ball in the identical spot and drives in the go-ahead run again. Although this is a game that's just in the fourth inning, but a good at bat by Martini. Again, striking out his first two, but this time coming through with a base hit. Marcus Simeon with the ball hit on the ground, off on contact, and scores easily. So the A's with first and third, and might be the biggest run of the game to add on after scoring 3 in the first inning.
Yeah, still only 1 out. Here's Chapman.
This is Friday. Matt Chapman in first inning, fastball up against Pena, and he went to right center. So his family, friends, all in attendance. They tailgated last night and today. And a shake of the head by Pena, and Chapman with his 16th home run.
1-1 now to Chapman. 5 for 10 in the series for Chapman. Matt's been a hot hitter for quite a while.
Yeah, the Angels are playing for 2, Captain, and this is important because of the speed of Chapman, because he can get down the line. Fortunately, Martini can't help him at second if there is a ground ball.
Pretty well hit to left. Upton back. Upton's going to have enough room to make the catch, but plenty deep for Fegley to come in and score. And the A's now lead it 5-3, and that's another good at bat by an A's hitter. Second sacrifice fly in the ball game for the A's.
And consider the breaking ball he got with a couple of strikes. To see him stay back and hit it that far, that's a great at bat. And here's the breaking ball, just kind of reached out, both hands on the bat, did not release it, so he's able to get the extension and send Upton back to the warning track, which allowed Fegley, who hustled nicely on the base hit by Martini, to get to third base where he could score on the sac fly. So, Cap, that's 2 of the 3 batters been hit that have scored.
That's right. Lowry with a double in the first, and he scored, and then he struck out in the second. Swing and a miss. Ball moving away from Lowry. So a couple of runs here for the A's in the fourth inning off Jim Johnson.
Here's a situation where we saw Jed Lowry take a ball on his hand, his wrist, and then jam his wrist in the ground. This is his first at bat, I think, since that. It's just a matter of how it feels. Doesn't take much for a hitter to feel a little bit off, favoring a part that may be a little bit sore.
One thing for Jed being a switch hitter as well, it could potentially affect him from both sides of the plate.
That one hit foul. Well, the old hand, wrist, thumb, finger, any kind of injury for a hitter, it's the worst thing that can happen.
Absolutely. And all the more reason when you see guys in the weight room, while the physique looks great, it's the hands, the wrists, the forearms that, from a hitter standpoint, create the big hits. I mean, you look at guys like Aaron and Banks, small wrist. How about that one?
Looks okay to me.
Yep.
That baby is gone. 7-3 A's lead.
I think his wrist is okay.
He's good.
Well, we've identified Jed Lowry as an individual that had been struggling just a little bit, scuffling. He finally gets a pitch he can handle with authority.
down and in 93. Jed Lowry knows what time it is. Boys, get your bags packed. On the board, next stop, Pound Town.
There was a sinking fastball that did not sink except into those vacated seats in right field.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
Home run, had not hit one since July the 24th, but this fastball, this sinker didn't sink. Statcast 104 off the bat. So for Jed, that's 7 miles an hour off the bat exit velocity. That's why it's a home run instead of an out. 24 degrees launch angle and into the right field seats for Jed Lowry. He's the 18th home run of the season, and he's good. Good to see the wrist okay.
StatCast AI powered by AWS. Hansel Robles comes in. He pitched last night. So the A's now with 6 home runs in this series. The A's have hit 20 home runs in the 13 games against the Angels this year. That's a lot.
I guess to Jed's point that he talked about after the Friday game, said the ball flies. Well, that didn't need much help. That was just a Jim Johnson. I would say for Mike Scioscia, the disappointment has to be Jim Johnson out of the bullpen. You'd have to think that he was going to give more than what he gave, and just the sinker's not sinking. Makes it difficult on a manager and a pitcher. Very good at bats by the Athletics in the inning there.
That one is drilled left center field, hit pretty well, and it is off the wall. Takes a big bounce to Upton. Chris Davis hustling into second. He's got a sliding double.
Again, Chris Davis becoming an all-round good hitter, and when you can hit a ball this far, you think, well, it's going to be a home run, but no, the top spin hits in front of the wall, bounces back, but splits the gap in left center. They're playing him right center because of an unbelievable opposite field power. Instead, he gets a double off the left field wall, and the A's keep rolling.
So 22 doubles for Davis to go along with his 34 home runs. And here's Matt Olson. So 4 hits in the inning, 8 hits in the game for the A's. Olson taps it foul. Olson, an RBI single and a fly ball to center field so far. So quick 0-2 to the A's first baseman Matt Olson. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. But a good inning for the A's. They score 4 times, 2 of them coming on Jed Lowrie's 18th home run of the year. We like it. Bottom of the 4th coming up, 7-3 A's lead. Baseball world buzzing last night about the throw by the A's Ramon Laureano. Oh, how could you not be? That was fun. One of the, and then you got walk-offs, you got all kinds of great things, but that may have been like the best play, and I'm talking offense, defense, anything of the year for the A's. And we've seen a lot of big home runs and that kind of thing.
Not just for the A's, Kipe. Across baseball.
Yeah.
Across baseball. Yeah. That is the best play across baseball this year, hands down, in my opinion.
And we respect your opinion. But now we are also going to get really deep into this conversation, which the three of us do, and that's always a little scary. But you got to compare it to the Cespedes play. Was it better, worse, even, same?
Well, I've had a lot of time to think about this.
Did you sleep at all last night?
I didn't much, if I'm being completely honest.
Were you on YouTube?
Oh man, replaying the Cespedes play, because I knew that that had been our barometer really for a while. When you talk about amazing throws from the outfield, especially in an A's uniform.
And the winner is?
Well, the winner's got to be Laureano.
Laureano, I agree.
There's no doubt.
I'll tell you my opinion on it, which you can appreciate it or not.
I can only wait so long for that.
Well, just the fact that with Cespedes, the wall stopped the ball. Picked it up and threw. Flat-footed, granted. But for Laureano to make the catch first and foremost, and then they have to run 5 to 6 steps to stop himself, then gather himself, and then double clutch because he made sure he had the good grip, and then to throw.
I think you are absolutely correct. Here's our Coors Light refreshing finish. Let's take a look at it again. We'll see this hundreds of times, and why not?
Now look how far he goes. Watch this. He catches it, and then about 5 steps, and then a little stutter step, and then a perfect throw. What they anticipate, 321 feet at 91 miles per hour. I mean, we're talking about Chappie across the diamond. But I mean, I just can't imagine anybody making a better throw. I can't. I mean, Willie Mays' great catch, and then spawning through the ball at the Polo Grounds.
Well, I broke it down into 2 parts. I think the throw, I think the Cespedes throw and the Laureano throw were equal to me. But the whole play itself, the Laureano play was better because he made the catch, and Cespedes sort of he kicked it into a great play.
Right. If the wall's not there, the ball keeps rolling. It keeps running.
And it was a mistake by Cespedes initially.
Right. And if Laureano misses the ball and he hits it, it keeps going for him, and he doesn't even have a chance.
So I think that the throws to me were equal, but the overall play was significantly better by Laureano. Dallas, what do you think of that breakdown?
Yeah, I would agree with that as well, because pure execution is what we're talking about. And pure execution was on display with Laureano, making a play on a ball that had no business being caught, and then the wherewithal to, again, chop the steps, gather himself, take 3 or 4 steps in an effort to create momentum towards his target, 320 plus feet away, 92 miles an hour, on just on a dime to first base.
And I think the confidence he has in his arm, that he was willing to take that extra crow hop with the ball in his glove to make sure he had the four seam, because if you're going to make that throw, it has to be four seam. You can't have any movement on it. And that's your, I mean, when the guys throw, I'm sure, Dallas, you've done it in the outfield as a pitcher, you stretch it out. I know catchers do it to make the throws, the bases shorter, same for a pitcher. But as an outfielder, you want to make, actually anybody is throwing a baseball except for the pitcher should be a four seam. You want it to be straight. You don't want movement. And in his case, throwing that far, I mean, that's just...
Because something you're taught as an infielder, something you're taught as a catcher, something you're taught as a pitcher when you're throwing the ball, you don't throw to your target, you throw through your target. And for him to be able to dot that up from 321 feet away, folks, right on the chest, that's money in the bank, baby.
And you know what? I bet if he tried it another 99 times, he'd be 0 for 90. You know, it's just one of those miracle plays that we're going to talk about forever. And baseball is going to talk about it forever. But if you said, can you duplicate it? Probably not.
Well, and I think what's kind of neat about the play is we're comparing it to another play that was made by an A's outfielder in the same
stadium.
ballpark.
Yeah, same stadium. Just one in left field, one in center field.
Hit pretty well to center. Canna backs up. Looks like he's going to have room, and he does. Calhoun is retired, and Trevor Cahill has a 3-up, 3-down inning. We're through 4. 7-3 A's lead.
Already?
And the Angels 3. Ramon Laureano. We haven't got the. Can't talk about that catch without the StatCast information on it, right, Dallas? I mean, that's the good stuff. Huh?
That's the anatomy of a superstar play.
StatCast puts a whole different perspective on everything.
Jet Lowry just proved StatCast. 97 off the bat, goes nowhere. 104 off the bat, right field seats for home run.
StatCast.
StatCast.
Canada right, shallow. All right, let's get the StatCast numbers on this play.
80 feet covered. 80 feet covered. Catch probability 37%. I'm not totally sure about that. I'm not convinced about that. But again, 92 miles an hour almost, 321 feet away. Come on. I don't have a jugs machine that'll get that done.
Well, the guys in the clubhouse after the game, they were watching the home runs hit, different things, but they could not wait until the Laureano play showed up.
Left field hit well. Upton back, turns around, and it's off the top of the wall. Simeon's going to have to hustle for second, and he's going to make it with a double. Stay hot, Marcus Semien.
Well, I think to Dallas's point earlier, no matter where Marcus Semien is hitting the lineup, he's leading off, and then he's hitting the bottom part of the order. Still, this ball with too much topspin. It looked like it had a chance to get in the A's bullpen, which would have been a home run, but Upton planted off the wall with the bare hand, but when you pick it up with the bare hand and your name's not Laureano, it's going to be offline.
So here's Pinder, chance to knock in a run. Pinder has struck out, and then he credited with a sacrifice bunt. A good swing there, fouls it straight back. Jackson, he was the beneficiary of that great play.
Well, the fist pump was for the catch, and then he's going, you gotta be careful.
Dallas was in awe. Pitch drops low. So 1-1 the count to Chad Pinder. One-two pitch off the plate. Robles is pitcher number 4. Of the first 3, 2 not good, 1 good. Ray Johnson gave up 4 runs in 1 inning. Pinder gets jammed, and it's fair. Down the first baseline, a thing of beauty. Simeon's going to come in to score. Pinder will take it. Albert Pujols, he's just standing there. Are you kidding me? Robles can't believe it either, the pitcher, and Pinder has an RBI single.
Pujols got over 3,000 hits. He goes, I don't know if I've ever had one of those. Yeah, you have, because your 3,000 was a little bit of a fluke to right field. You'll take it, just like Pinder will take this front door breaking ball, just squib inside the line. One thing better on that if it hit the bag. That would have been a real thing of beauty.
Insult to injury.
Yeah, he'll take it though.
Just out of the reach of Albert.
Where is it? Oh, there it is. Thank you.
So that is 10 hits now for the A's, and they lead it 8-3.
Chad deserved that hit after the accident, you know, messed up his left arm, all those stitches in his elbow.
Good pitch right in the corner. Fegley was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning, and he scored. He struck out in the 2nd.
The one thing that in this game is true to form for Trevor Cahill, because he had a 3-0 lead, gave up the 3 runs, and now all of a sudden he got 4 spot last inning, 1 run in this inning. Still the pitcher of record. See, he's talking to Anderson about his fielding.
Sure. Known each other for a long time.
Team USA together.
One has a White Rabbit for the walkout music. It's going to be fun at the Coliseum. Trevor pitches next weekend. Bring out White Rabbit.
Strike 3 call. Fegley can't believe it. So that's out number 2. First big league start for Trevor Cahill right here. There he is.
And guys, I got to tell you, it was pretty funny watching Trevor Cahill go about his business during his first start, because in between innings, when a starting pitcher would normally be sitting down on the bench, sort of gathering his thoughts, thinking about the next guys in the lineup, the way he's going to attack, instead he was up on the rail with me talking about, you know, life, being in the big leagues, how amazing this is. And I'm thinking to myself, you are outside of your mind right now.
Could be a hit, and it will be a hit. Dropped into left center field. Pinder, with 2 outs, hustles around to third. And Nick Martini has his second hit.
Well, this is back-to-back ABs. Seeing guys, excuse me, Pinder and now Martini staying inside the baseball. Pull the hands, little fillet job. He'll take it, but Pinder, first to third, again for the Oakland A's. Continuing to keep the pressure on.
So Cap, that's 4 at-bats, 4 pitchers.
That's right, yeah.
He didn't like the first 2 at-bats.
Here's Chapman, who takes outside.
Front foot for Martini. That's a roll jab. That's a severe roll, but strong ankles. Take the base hit. Don't even think about it.
And now 2-0. Chapman hit by a pitch, a single, and a sacrifice fly. So his big series continues. It's Eduardo Paredes warming up. He was just called up today. Strike. Well, Chapman took that one. He'll be ready to go now. Robles now 27 pitches.
Stu Sherwalder, for if there's ever a day that you didn't want to have a bullpen by committee to pitch in a game with all the pitching changes, and he's behind the plate, that shirt's getting darker while everybody else's shirt's light.
Outside corner a strike, so it's 3-2.
Well, as we said earlier in the game, if you're at the plate, swing it. Well, 2-seamer coming back, probably one that Chapman gave up on because it started outside, but it did come back towards the corner.
Runner goes, and that's a swing and a miss. He's going to run on Pinder's RBI single, so bottom of the 5th coming up. It's now 8-3. A's lead.
Of our A's family, general admission access to every single 2019 regular season home game. You get a plan of reserved seat tickets, 50% off concessions, 25% off merchandise and parking discounts. You get the first opportunity, this is important, to purchase 2018 postseason tickets. You can always learn more at athletics.com/2019 today. A's access every game your way, starting with the A's hope the postseason of 2018.
So bottom of the 5th, Upton to lead things off against Trevor Cahill. Cahill, a little rocky early, but now Upton gets hit by a pitch, and that's probably not going to sit real well with him.
He's immediately thinking about the 3 A's that have been hit, that maybe he's got to be the one that they retaliate. I think the A's are more concerned about winning a ball game, and nobody knows what goes on the field, but he's upset.
Well, I'll offer this much. Typically, if there's ever a moment you feel like there's going to be retribution, it typically doesn't happen at the onset of an inning.
Exactly. You want 2 outs and a well-controlled game. Like late in the game?
Yeah, you're not interested in adding traffic to the base pass that you have to navigate around. That's just not a position any pitcher likes to put themselves in, let alone their team in.
I think also this is just the 5th inning. Trevor Cahill has not been at his best all game. He's got some run support, which is great, but he's trying to get through at least this inning. And I just say that it's this pitch that got away, and Trevor Cahill wants outs. And I don't know that Justin Upton is the type of hitter that you want him to extend his arms. We've seen what has happened last night or Friday night with a big 2-run home run.
Runner goes, and the ball is in the dirt. Fegley tried to pick it and throw it, but could not grab it cleanly, so Upton is going to be at second base.
Well, this is probably because he got hit, said, I'll take care of that. See, he's got the head down. This is dangerous from his standpoint. 2 strikes on the hitter. And ball just happened to be in the dirt. Pretty good pitch to run on, considering thinking breaking ball was going to be thrown, which it was, and bounced.
So Ohtani with a chance to knock in a run, and he takes a little bit outside, a little bit low. Strikeout and ground out for Ohtani. That's a new one, the GoPro on top of a regular camera. That gentleman has covered all the angles today, that's for sure.
I just want a close-up of his face when Ohtani makes an out again.
Yeah, he was not happy last night. That's Buchter, the lefty, warming up. A reach for, foul back to the screen.
Well, Ohtani kind of fits that same bill for me as Upton does. Big guy, strong individual. For Upton, you don't want him to extend his arms, very powerful. Ohtani the same, very long and powerful.
And he got him. Change up, and that's the pitch that Ohtani struck out in the first inning on, and he got him again. Ohtani does not look good on that pitch.
Big strikeout then and a big strikeout here, and both times of those strikeouts it's been kind of a weak swing down and in. Oh man, it's paid a fortune for these seats to get close-up shots and nothing. And let's hope for the remainder of the game, nothing.
So here's Pujols. Pujols hits it to Chapman, who scoops it up, flips it across, and that is the second out here in the 5th inning, and Upton still at second base.
Again, you notice how Chapman threw that ball. He just kind of flipped it across the diamond, then we'll sink on it, and plenty of time for Olsen to come off the bag. But reason to exert the full out throw. you know that the runner, the hitter, is not going to be speeding down the line. So that out by Pujols might have given Trevor Cahill an opportunity to face this lefty. Whereas with Buchter getting up, more likely he got up for Fernandez.
Swing and a miss by Jose Fernandez.
Saw Brett Anderson on Friday night leave after 5 innings and a 3-2 lead. Maybe had some more bullets in his arsenal, but we may see a little bit of a necessity today with Trevor Cahill. Temperature a little bit different, and he's not really had walked the batter in the 3rd.
That one is drilled down the right field line, fair ball. Upton's going to score, and Fernandez has got his 2nd hit. This one knocks in a run. It's 8-4.
Fernandez taking a few good passes today.
Yep.
Cahill, and this is just a hanger right in the middle of the plate. Fernandez is able to open up, get the bat head through. That's going to put a bow on it for Trevor Cahill.
So to not quite get that 3rd out here in the 5th inning when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
A's Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
8-4, the A's leading the Angels. Bottom of the 5th inning, a run in for the Angels. Smaro Petit takes over. So Cahill 4 2/3 innings. And now Petit, 55th appearance. Good record, 5-2. Good ERA at 3.14. As he faces David Fletcher. Fletcher playing shortstop with Simmons being scratched from the lineup.
Simmons with that little barky knee.
Chance for Fletcher to show the Angels, hey, to play a little shortstop as well.
That's the thing about the big leagues is every day is an opportunity not only for yourself, for your club, for 29 other teams as well.
Good swing there, fouls it into the 2nd level.
Dallas talked about the batting practice of Josh Fegley. You watch the batting practice of Fletcher. He's hitting home runs left and right. He's not going to hit a lot of home runs. And Fredo Griffin talking to him about that. He's infield coach and Eric Hinsky, their hitting coach. But, you know, think of Johnny Giovatelli whenever he played. I mean, he was a scrappy player that hit Sean Figgins, David Eckstein. I mean, you can be a good player Not going to hit a lot of home runs, so why even try?
Yeah. Fletcher strikes out. A run for the Angels. We're on to the 6th. 8-4 A's.
Brought to you by T-Mobile. How about Jed Lowrie? What a day. Career hit number 1,000. A patented double down the left field line for Jed Lowrie, and that came in his first at bat. And even score a run. You get the baseball. I want the baseball, says Jed. He got the baseball, and then a couple of batters later, or innings later, it's his 18th home run, ongoing career high for him. So good season for Jed Lowrie, and just as important, playing today after a night game last night. The A's trying to win the series today after winning last night, losing the first game. Very comparable to the middle of June when the A's lost the Friday night, and they're trying to duplicate that by winning Saturday and today.
So Eduardo Paredes is the new pitcher. When it's time for change, think Speedy, oil change, and auto service. Your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. So Paredes comes in here in the top of the 6th.
It's been a good day for Speedy Oil Change.
That's right.
Typically in Major League Baseball, sponsor a bullpen move, you're going to get a lot of hits, and we appreciate Speedy Oil Change and auto service.
Good day for Jed Lowrie. Picked up his 1,000th career hit in the first inning and then hit a 2-run homer in the 4th. So he's 2 for 3.
Just allowed him to settle in.
18 home runs, 70 runs batted in for Jed on the season already.
And a 4-pitch ball.
Now this is on a 2-strike pitch now, and it was the fastball from Jim Johnson, and Jed Lowrie just dropped the head of the bat on it. Talk about launch angle all you want. That's just good hitting, especially with a couple of strikes. You're reacting on a pitch more than just trying to load up and let it go.
So that'll bring up Chris Davis. Davis with a sacrifice fly and a double today. Swings at the first pitch and bounces it foul. So Robles an inning and a 3rd.
Paredes walks the first batter. The Angels have walked today. They've hit 3. Right. First walk.
That hits Chris Davis.
Now, I think this is a little bit of a retaliation on that one. That's uncalled for. I'm sorry.
So the A's will have 2 on and nobody out.
Fastball up and in, off the pad. Not setting anything up. Don't know whether that got away from Paredes or not. You know, on the flip side, we just mentioned pitchers not necessarily in a hurry to put traffic on the bases and be forced to work around that, but at the same time, it's a bullpen game. You're 15 or so out.
One of your star players got hit. By my count, that's 4-1 on hit batters.
Olsen, a single, a fly ball to center, and a strikeout. Not close. These have had all kinds of base runners today. It's been 1 3 up, 3 down inning. That was the third. He's got 11 hits. You got the 4 hit batters. A walk. Olsen on a foul tip. He strikes out.
Now Paredes a 4-pitch walk to Jet Lowry, hit batter for the next batter. That would be Chris Davis, and then 4 pitches thrown to Matt Olsen, 3 for strike. So a little bit interesting for Mr. Paredes.
So that'll bring up Canna. First pitch spins in there for a strike. As we told you earlier, the Mariners beat the Astros again today. So if the A's could win this game today, they would be 2.5 games back of the Astros in the AL West.
I would have thought that.
The Mariners, with that win, they are 4 back.
And the A's win today. They retain their maintain their 2.5 game lead. Or is it 2 game?
One and a half.
1.5 for that wild card. Thank you. You know that one game the A's lost.
One runs inside to Canna.
You know, as we venture into the era of trying to expedite the baseball game, trying to cut down on dead time, mound visits, things of that nature, you have to wonder.
Out at second, Angels try to turn the double play, and they did. So 5-4-3 on the double play, and the A's do not score in the top of the 6th. The 6th inning. Yusmeiro Petit stays back out there. Petit struck out Fletcher to end the 5th. So Caleb Cowart, the switch hitter, steps in. And he goes after the first pitch, fouls it back. Angels will head out on the road after today's game. They will go to San Diego. They'll be in San Diego, Texas, and Arizona. So they got 5 interleague games to play on that road trip.
That trip sounds like it's good, bad, and good.
Yeah.
Good because it's San Diego, bad because it's Texas, good because you can close the roof in Arizona.
High pop up on the infield. See Chapman shading his eyes. And Chapman has it. So Cowart is retired. So that's out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
You know, Bob Melvin went to the mound to take out Trevor Cahill. I'm sure it was one of those trips that he did not like to take, but as we talked about Mike Scioscia on Friday night, and managers are paid to win games for the team, and the manager walked out almost like he's apologetic to take out Trevor Cahill, but you know, you try to get to the point where you let somebody try to get a win, and Trevor ended up, he hit Upton first batter of the inning, then he gave up the 2-out double. But manager's job is to win games, and I do apologize, the out-of-town scoreboards are along the left and right field rim.
That's pretty well hit. Pinder turns around and it is gone. Francisco Arcia with a home run. Now it's 8-5. So that's his 3rd home run of the year.
Did pitch last night at Petit. I'll tell you, talk about location. That ball right in the middle of the plate. And a very good pitch to hit. He's got a little bit of a strange setup. It's not a high leg kick. It's a elevated foot, and then he goes straight towards the pitcher. But this time, put it in the seats. So it looks like it's probably going to be a bullpen game for the Athletics as well.
So here's Eric Young. Eric Young's got a double. He scored a run in the 2nd inning. Chapman in on the grass. Young very fast. Two strikes. Chapman goes back to a much more normal set. Just fouled down the first baseline.
It's a good day.
It's a good day to win a series. Slice foul again. Petit trying to get through the 6th.
Edwin Jackson pitching deep last night. Pagan finishing the game, and Petit can continue in this inning. That's a big strikeout there for the 2nd out, his 2nd strikeout. And then who knows? Maybe you just turn it over to the bullpen the rest of the way.
Well, we are going to get
right
a pitching change. So Petit gives up the home run. Gets a couple of outs here in the 6th inning. We got a new pitching change. Buckner coming in, 8-5 A's lead.
What you're going to see on Tuesday night, if you want to learn to keep score at the ball game, well, this Tuesday, August 14th, 5:30 to 6:15, join us in the Eastside Club for a, quote, scorekeeping 101 with Glenn Kuiper, unquote. That's a big event. All our welcome special tickets for this event are available at athletics.com/score. Grab a lower level ticket and access to the event for $26. That's athletics.com/score. And remember, it is Tuesday. That is free parking Tuesday. It's $26, lower level ticket.
It should be fun. We're trying to keep the old school baseball alive a little bit, right? With keeping score at the ball game.
What is that?
Keep your ears cool.
Yeah, that should be a fun evening as Ryan Buchter coming on. He pitched 2/3 of an inning last time with a big strikeout to this guy, a hard slider after a couple of fastballs.
So 1 inning, 1 hit, and that 1 hit by off Petit was the home run. He had a couple of strikeouts. So Buchter is pitcher number 3.
That's Ryan Buchter about being the lone lefty in the A's bullpen at this time. Daniel Coulomb was sent out. But I thought his answer was quite interesting. He said, I feel complimented that I can get lefties and righties out. I can pitch regularly. As he said when he was on the disabled list, he said, I hated to miss time. He says, I don't even like to make the call. I have to say I'm down. So he will more likely, more times than not, say he's available. But it's good to have a hard throwing lefty, especially with a hard slider that he struck out Calhoun. Lefty on lefty throws a hard slider. Not many lefties are going to adjust to it. They may foul it off, but a lot of times they're going to do that. It's a good heater.
Well, how many good left-handed relievers don't have a good slider?
Absolutely.
Most of them do. You almost have to.
And if you're a situation or a pitcher's going to face predominantly left-handers, you better have one, and you better throw it hard.
That's why you're down there in the bullpen. You've probably got something to wipe somebody out with, left on left.
Heater down after, I mean, he remembers. And I asked him also about how he can read hitters' bats. And I mean, Dallas, you know, as a pitcher, you can read hitters at bats. They tell you whether they can, and if they foul a ball down the left side, why you want to speed up their bat. In this case, lefty on lefty. And you know, that's where a good pitcher is able to read the swing, read the at bat, kind of figure out if the hitter's late on a pitch and he's fouling over the third base line, why throw him something soft that he can speed up.
Buchter, the delivery is outside. Buchter also has that little hesitation. He kind of rises up when he lifts up that right leg, and he pauses just for a moment. Upton would be next if Calhoun can get aboard, but Buchter trying to finish the bottom of the 6th. And he missed with the slider. So does that mean Calhoun, as a hitter rate, eliminates the slider from his thought process?
He may try to, but I don't know if it's going to. That's the problem, because Buchter's not opposed to throwing a slider after 2-2 missing and come back with another. I mean, he does have the option, and from a hitter standpoint, if you're in between, it's going to work. It'll benefit the pitcher. But a lot of times, you throw a breaking ball 2-2, and it's a ball, you're more or less saying he's not going to throw it to me again.
Here is the 3-2 pitch, and it was a fastball. He missed low.
There's one batter.
Bob Melvin up out of the dugout, and he's going to want a right-hander to face Justin Upton. So we'll be back. It's going to be Lou Trevino coming in. Should be a good matchup.
Friday night's Luke Trevino first pitch fastball. Different story. That made it a 4-3 game in favor of the Angels. A's do hold a lead right now of 3, but Justin Upton is the hitter. Got a first pitch fastball and deposited left field. So Luke Trevino got last night off. He's back this afternoon. And as he said, and did not run away from anybody on Friday night, said, I'm looking forward to the next time out. A lot of confidence that I can get the job done. Well, trying to get the 3rd out of this inning right now. You know, the batter in front of Trevino on Friday night was Fletcher hit the ball down the 3rd base line that probably was foul, or at least it looked like it was foul. And Chapman could not quite make the play. And first pitch hitting was Upton for the 2-run home run. The important thing for Trevino is have sink on his fastball. He did not have it on Friday. It was straight and it was gone quickly.
First pitch to Upton is a little high. So 2 outs with Calhoun aboard. It's an 8-5 game. The Angels with a run in the 5th and a run here in the 6th to close the gap. Slips it in there for a strike. Give Upton something to think about. Right about the league average for Trevino as far as inherited runners stranded.
Part of the best thing about a relief pitcher, if he struggles, gives up a home run as he did on Friday night, it's not like a starting pitcher where you have to wait 4 or 5 days to get back in the swing of things. You can come back 2 days later, in this case for Trevino, and try to accomplish something that he did not do Friday.
So Trevino jumps ahead of Upton. Upton has had a fly ball to center. He's got an RBI single, and he was hit by a pitch.
And that's all it takes is to come in and execute one time to erase that ugly memory you have of not getting the job done the timeout before and build some momentum heading into your next hot streak.
Upton was just able to hold up. Good teaser pitch on 1 and 2.
I thought it was interesting that Corey Blazer, the first base umpire, was walking as he made the call, and in a different position now than he was. Maybe he felt he was out of position, but walking and calling at the same time.
2-2 pitch is down, and now it's a full count. So Calhoun, who has good speed, he will take off.
Okay, the breaking ball that he threw, would he throw it again on 3 and 2?
Yeah, he did, and he threw it right on the corner, and Upton spoiled it.
But it's a good hitter is able to do this because this is a nasty pitch to throw 3 and 2. Great pitch for the pitcher, but for the hitter, I mean, that was painted perfectly. He's got a cut fastball, which allows him to throw that kind of a pitch, and just took Upton off the barrel of the bat.
And there goes again. And another foul ball. This one into the upper deck. Out of the crowd up underneath in the shade on a very hot, muggy day here in Anaheim. So 3 and 2 again. Calhoun ready to take off. And the ball again reached for and fouled. So Upton hanging in there against the nasty stuff from Lou Trevino. Pitch at bat so far. Olsen playing right behind Calhoun, who's set to take off. Another 3-2. Here it comes. And just outside 99 miles an hour. So pretty good at bat by Upton. It's Ohtani, and he is actually the tying run.
Yes, he is, and the pitches hit he has struck out on twice for changeups, as you mentioned. Last strikeout for Cahill, that was in the 5th inning. And Ohtani, good fastball hitter.
Yeah.
Likes to extend the arms. Maybe Scott Emerson, just a little reminder about the approach.
It's funny, Ray. It's the bottom of the 6th inning, but it feels like the bottom of the 8th inning.
That's right.
A lot of baseball yet to go in this game, with the A's hanging on to an 8-5 lead.
Well, this is the idea that the ball game can be saved here before the 9th inning. High leverage situation. You've got a guy who's been getting it done all year long in these specific situations. This is horsepower versus horsepower right now. Ohtani, the ability to be a bopper in this lineup, and Lou Trevino, 100-mile-an-hour cheese biscuits with a wipeout 93-plus-mile-an-hour slider. Heck of a matchup here.
Ohtani goes after the first pitch, and he fouls it back. Ohtani got a pitch in the lower part of the strike zone. Maybe a little tardy on
they're playing
velocity.
To pull on the infield and kind of straight up in the outfield, but it seems like his power has been more left center to left field, and extending the arms, which most hitters like to do, but he has the power to do that.
That one to the backstop and came right back to Fegley, but both runners move up.
Right up out of the zone. We talk about 98, 99. It's tough to knock it down when you miss your spot.
Like a cross-up. Tingley went out to talk to him. I bet it was a cross-up because now a lot more important. They were second and third. But the way Fegley, I mean, granted the pitch, when it's up anyway like that, if you're thinking down, that pitch is up, you're not going to get to it. And the cameraman's out again for Ohtani.
Oh, see Calhoun, he came sprinting down the line about 10 steps and then stopped.
Well, Chapman's at the shortstop position, so give him credit for doing it.
I mean, that's all it takes is a flinch by the pitcher.
Flinch by a pitcher. He stepped off, fortunately.
And when pitches roll foul, and now it's 1-2.
But, you know, it's not like this is the first time it's happened with Trevino. You have to be calm, boy. It just takes a flinch. And there's the shift, 3 over shifting to the right side. But the outfield straight up.
Calhoun all the way down. He's halfway down. And foul back. That is as far as I've ever seen a runner come to home.
You know what I'd like to see, really, in a situation like that, for the pitcher to step off, run straight to third. You get him a rundown because he's wanting to go back to third. But look how far he's coming down. Just think if Trevino can step off quickly and then just sprint to third. And then, you know, then Calhoun has to make a decision. Then it's foot race back to third, or you get him in a rundown. You strike out Ohtani, don't worry about it.
And he did. A high fastball. Ohtani swings and misses, so he strikes out for the 3rd time. And the Angels strand a pair. They do get a run on Arcia's home run.
Steelers, how about this man? He's at it again. Marcus Semien with an infield hit that would bring in a run with a couple of outs, and then he would do it again. Another infield hit, almost a great play by Fletcher. And then for Semien, just over the head of Upton, topspin, almost hit a home run. He said it's a double, so Marcus Semien, 3 hits today. He had, of course, the 2 home runs last night, including another double, so a good couple of games and a great career for Marcus Semien playing in Southern California. There's a lot of A's fans on hand to watch the A's and really be happy the last 2 games. Wanted to be happy in the first game of the A's early lead.
Marcus Semien 3 for 3 today. How about a 6 for 11 series for Marcus Semien? That'll get you going.
Absolutely. 6 for 8 the last 2 days. A couple long balls.
A couple of doubles in the series. Couple of home runs. 5 RBIs. Scored 5 runs.
You know, I think his defense has really excelled. He's getting better and better. He's playing every day. Throwing is much better. I mean, it's going to make errors. Everybody's going to make an error every once in a while, but it's not as consistently as it was when he first started playing shortstop regularly. A lot of work with Ron Washington, Chip Hale, now Matt Williams. Continues to work hard. How about Wash down in Atlanta with a team of Braves playing so well in the Eastern Division of the National League?
Well, Braves came into today 1 out, and they won.
Phillies.
Chasing the Phillies.
That's right. Gabe Kapler, first-year manager.
The Phillies are in San Diego. Pujols over, and he runs out of room. Well, I like to keep an eye on the races. There's really not a race in the AL East. Red Sox and the Yankees both won today. It's a 9.5 game lead there for Boston. The Indians, that's a done deal in the Central. But then you got the AL West, which is a 3-team race. You got the NL East, Philly, Atlanta, Washington. That's a 3-team race. Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Louis, that's a 3-team race. And then, of course, the National League West, Arizona, Los Angeles, Colorado, that's a 3-team race. So there's some stuff going on. You got the A's in Seattle battling for the second wild card spot. The National League wild card has got a whole bunch of teams involved.
Simeon's put together a nice series worth of swings and at bats. Here he just runs out of bat. Change up down.
So 1 away, and here is Pinder. So the A's have scored plenty of runs today. They've also struck out 11 times. Pinder is 1 for 3. He had an RBI single in the 5th. Hit a little ground ball right down the first base line. That one's hit well to right field. Calhoun going back. Calhoun at the wall, and he leaps up, and he made the catch. Terrific play by Cole Calhoun. It may have been a home run.
Well, the way the ball was slicing away from him, Gold Glove outfielder, you can understand why. And it's amazing how your offense can help you defensively and vice versa. He goes back, times his leap perfectly. And you're right, Captain. Right to the right of the blue sign and that lower wall there.
Would have been
and
close.
It probably would have been. Too bad that fan didn't interfere.
So 2 away.
He won a Gold Glove, and early part of the season he doesn't make the play. May not even be out there. But now he's doing it all.
So Fegley hits with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Pujols on the backhand. Paredes is there, and that'll do it. Paredes with a 3-up, 3-down inning. It is 7th inning stretch time in Anaheim. 8-5 A's.
Brought to you by Toyota. Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Bottom of the 7th, A's 8, Angels 5. A's will head home after the game and get ready for a monster 3-game series against the Seattle Mariners. The pitching matchups tomorrow night. Two lefties, Marco Gonzalez, who's won 12 games this year, against Sean Manaea, who's a 10-game winner. James Paxton, probably the best starting pitcher the Mariners have. He will go against Mike Fiers on Tuesday, and then Mike Leake against Brett Anderson on Wednesday. So, it'll be good 3 games. And if there's ever a time to get to the Coliseum, you wanted postseason baseball, you wanted pennant race baseball, well, you got it right now. You got it this week, because after the Mariners, the A's will be off on Thursday. And then the Houston Astros will be here this weekend. What more do you want, Ray?
You know, Kai, that's a great point, because I think if the A's started the season, just like you're saying, first spring training, you think all these things. But right now, this is what can happen to baseball. Anything can happen. You take a ball club that was not supposed to do anything, and look where the A's are right now. And I think, as we talked about in this series in Dallas, you and I have talked about what could happen with the Mariners winning today. If the A's can win today, what the division will look like starting tomorrow night. And we're just in the little part of August starting tomorrow night. So it's exciting time for baseball, exciting time to be an A's fan. And especially, you have right now a 3-headed monster coming out of the bullpen, starting with Rodney in the 7th. And you'd think for me in the 8th and trying in the 9th, as Trevino got the final out in the 6th inning. But that's the beauty of having back-end loaded bullpen, or bullpen loaded in general.
And I think the take-home message with this club, guys, is the mindset of these young men a month ago when they were telling you, we're not worried about the wild card conversation. We understand that it's happening. We believe we are a club that can very realistically have the division lead in our crosshairs. And that is a mindset that they have not let up on. And in my opinion, all part of why they find themselves right now where they're at in this race, not only holding a wild card spot, the second wild card spot, but with the division very much in reach.
So Fernando Rodney comes in here in the bottom of the 7th. And it'll be Pujols, Fernandez, and Fletcher against Rodney, making his 2nd appearance as a member of the Athletics. And Lou Trevino goes a 1/3 of an inning. He walks a hitter and strikes out Ohtani, and the Ohtani strikeout was huge. A couple of runners on. So 2-0 now to Pujols. Fernando Rodney pitched an inning on Friday night, had a strikeout. And now 3-0. It's been Cahill, Petit, Buchter, Trevino, and Rodney. Right in there at 93 miles an hour. Fernando Rodney, still a very hard thrower. Simeon backhands, throws across. Albert Pujols is retired.
It's a great comeback by Fernando Rodney, just saying, here's a fastball, hit it, after going 3-0. Okay, for as long as Fernando Rodney's been pitching Major League Baseball.
Straight hat. Like you were saying, as long as he's pitched in Major League Baseball, his hat's been crooked.
That's right, and I was just going to say that and just noticed
I didn't mean to jump you there. I knew exactly what you were saying.
But you know what? That's what he said. We're going to have something new in the 7th inning. Well, straight hat. But what I
looks completely different.
Exactly. But what I started to say all the years, never knew why he shot the arrow or why he wore his hat to the side. But he joins the A's. We'll find out. You know, just some research on why it happened, but.
The fact is it's straight right now.
It's straight. But he said we're going to bring out something new because he's not closer here.
Maybe that's it.
Maybe that is it. give him something to talk about.
Is he still Fernando Rodney with a straight hand?
That's a great point.
Dallas, on a serious note, have you melted yet down there, or?
I'm not going to lie. I've taken quite a hit. I've done everything I can to stay awake.
Is there a puddle of water like at your feet where you're sweating?
There typically would be, but that has evaporated.
Well, you're being a gamer. How about that?
That's right. I've had some amazing assistance from my buddy here in the camera well with me. He's keeping me hydrated, keeping me shaded. He's the real all-star today, boys.
Yeah, that's Greg, our cameraman, and it is hot down there, so Dallas is hanging in there. So 3-2 the count to Jose Fernandez.
Fernandez got a changeup from Fernando Rodney that he was way out in front and missed with a fastball, taken 3-2. It's a case where if he could throw a changeup anywhere close to the plate with his arm speed, it could be another strikeout.
Tapped foul. So Dallas, I mean, you're kind of an investigative reporter. Why did Fernando Rodney wear his hat crooked?
Well, he wore his hat the way he does as sort of an ability to pay homage to his father, who was a laborer. And as you get up before the sun and you work along with the sun, and even after the sun goes down, his father would rotate his hat as the sun would change positions throughout the workday in an effort to keep himself cool and shaded, but not have to take a break, not have to lay out like I'd love to right now because the sun is beating me down. No, 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 not for Mr. Rodney. So for Fernando, it's just a literal and a physical tip of the cap to his father.
Well, then, you know what? If you're paying tribute to your father, you can wear your hat any way you want.
And I think the arrow is a result of a neighboring town where he grew up. There was a Spanish name for that. So they're both of them, but I'll be honest, I never knew.
And that's I've always sort of taken up for Fernando Rodney, because you do hear a lot about, well, why do individuals wear their uniform a certain way? Why does the guy wear? Well, you don't have a billboard, but what you do have is a platform. And instead of getting in front of a microphone or a camera, he just very subtly, but not so subtly, has let his father know that he appreciates every bit of the sacrifice made for him and his family in order to chase a dream.
Foul back.
So if you've had beef with Fernando Rodney in the past about why he wears his hat the way he does, maybe after today, you and Fernando might be able to sit down and have an adult beverage together after a ball game.
Well, I think that's a perfect example of what happens when you see somebody on another team, but when he becomes your teammate, it changes everything.
Yep.
Liner, Chapman leaps, can't get it. So Fletcher is going to round first. He's going to hustle for second, and he's got a 2-out double. David Fletcher has his first hit.
He fouled off the first 2-strike pitch, but hammered the second one. Chapman tried to time it perfectly and make the catch, but not.
So here's Caleb Coward. The Angels are not going away. They keep putting pressure on the Athletics. Coward is 0 for 3. One for 10 in this series, getting a chance to play that one to the backstop.
Well, it's still electric coming out of the right hand of Fernando Rodney. And again, anytime you are working with upper echelon velocity, it becomes tougher and tougher on the guy behind the plate to corral you if you're missing spots. Not an easy job to knock that down.
Don't forget also that for catchers Jonathan Lucroy and Fegler, while they may have faced Rodney, the catching is different. You know, it's it is a totally different situation. Bullpen again active for the Angels.
It's like Bedrosian warming up. Swing, gonna miss. 96 miles an hour, just right at the top of the zone.
I think with Fletcher, watching him hit, he kind of course, very aware of the changeup, and you can see his approach with 2 strikes. It was different, just kind of waiting and not being too anxious and swinging through a possible changeup.
So now it's 3-1 to Coward. Garcia, the left-handed hitter, would be next. Threw it right by. 3-1, sitting on a fastball, and pretty good location, though.
You know, just the thought, though, of a changeup, it could. That's the problem. Even with 3-1, is he going to throw me a heater, or is he going to throw me a changeup? And just the mere thought in your mind may not allow you to load up and look 100% and be 100% sure you're going to get the fastball.
Yeah, not with 96 coming at you.
That's right.
And he got him. He went upstairs with another fastball, and Rodney strikes out Coward. Fletcher stranded at third base. 8th inning coming up.
Presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So 8th inning from the Big A. A's need 6 more outs to win this series, leading today 8-5. So the new pitcher is Williams Jerez, making his 3rd appearance. We saw him the last night, so he'll take over, face the top of the order for the A's. It's going to be a pinch hitter. Ramon Laureano is going to hit for Martini.
That's too bad, because Martini was going to see his 5th pitcher in 5 at-bats.
That's right. But we get to see the internet star from last night.
That's right. Maybe he's going to have all those social media accounts after last night. He had 0.
And he woke up today still Twitterless Ramon.
Twitterless Ramon. Instagramless Ramon. So facing Williams Jerez.
What we can say then, the A's leadoff hitters today, 2 of them have seen 5 different pitchers.
Well, Matt Chapman will see 5 different pitchers, right? Swing and a miss. 95 from Williams-Jerez. There's Chapman. Lowry to follow Chapman, so it's the top of the order. So 2-2. Tap slowly, and Laureano out of the box quick.
Well, that's a double by Justin Upton, except it was caught by Laureano. And then the throw. I mean, both of them. That was amazing. So if he doesn't do anything the rest of the season, he's done enough.
Well, that's true. So he strikes out there, swing. So it is 12 strikeouts now by A's hitters today, but they're still leading the game 8-5. So with one out, Chapman will hit. 1 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. Picked up his 41st RBI in the 4th inning. So Matt Chapman, guys get hot for a week or two, but hasn't really been hot for quite a while. A's notes tell us that he's hitting .347 in his last 39 games. That's a long stretch. That's 25% of the season.
I just think he's going to get better and better. Remember, he's dealing with a hand injury that he has had to go on the disabled list for. His defense, though, has been spectacular.
When he's raked against starters, against relievers, against left-handed relievers over the last 30 days, an OPS of 2,331. That's the best in baseball by a large margin.
Yeah, you watch him get better as the months go on. Lowry's been consistent. Chris Davis, to me, has taken a significant step up offensively. Away, and now 3-2.
I still say that the fact that in a lineup and really the position players, if a player has struggled, then all of a sudden here comes somebody else to pick him up, and that's the success of a team when one guy can be picked up. And I always think that the game of baseball is a team game played by a bunch of individuals.
Absolutely.
And if you do that and the individuals play as a team and each contributes, I can struggle. But guys, I mean, Jed Lowry is a perfect example. A couple of times this year he struggled, but then all of a sudden he comes back. He has his 1,000th hit today, gets another home run, playing every day. And
it helps to have a longer lineup as well, with Piscotty and I think Lucroy down at the bottom. Canna hits down at the bottom a lot. Those guys are all having pretty good years.
And even Marcus Simeon, as we detailed earlier, how he's been leading off, but then hitting down 7th to 8th in the lineup. So, I mean, it's a total team contribution and unselfish team, and that's some of the things that if you're going to have success in the course of a year, you're going to have individuals who are willing to give up themselves. And I always said that you give yourself up, might be an 0 for 1, but it helps your team win. It's going to be noticed.
Jed Lowry today is 2 for 3, a homer and a double. Williams-Jerez throwing some pretty good stuff up there this inning. They squaring off for a little battle, a little duel in the desert. They're out in shallow left field. Missed again. Now the count 2-2. The crowd today 38,364. It's been a quiet crowd. It's too hot to cheer. That means you'd have to move around a little bit. And that is a strikeout, and Williams Jerez strikes out the side in the top of the 8th inning. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 8-5 A's. All right, here's our game summary for today, brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 8-11-0 for the Athletics, 5-9-0 for the Angels. Of course, the Angels, a bullpen game today. And for the A's, Trevor Cahill could not quite get through the 5th. 87 pitches in 4 2/3 innings, but again, plenty of offense for the A's, as they have hit a couple of home runs. Lowry's got a home run. Actually, they've hit just 1 home run today. Lots of offense and trying to take the series. So the new pitcher is Jeurys Familia. A few changes in the outfield. We'll check with those. Familia is most importantly the new pitcher as he takes over here in the 8th inning. And he's going to face Arcia, Young, and then the top of the order, Cole Calhoun. First pitch is outside. So that's Canna now in left field, and Laureano is in the game in center field. So Martini is out. Canna in left, Laureano in center. Arcia's got a single and a homer. He scored a couple of runs. His home run came in the 6th inning, a solo shot, his 3rd of the year. Those are Familia's numbers with the A's, and that's pretty darn good. 2 walks, 12 strikeouts in 10 innings. He's allowed 1 unearned run. Is that correct?
To think about Rodney pitching the 7th, accustomed to pitching the 9th. Familia pitching the 8th, accustomed to pitching the 9th. And they always say about pitchers who pitch the 7th and 8th, the difference in the 9th inning is that if you pitch the 7th and 8th, you have the 9th inning guy to pick you up. And if you pitch the 9th, and who's behind you? So it's why that becomes a very important inning. But we have a chance today, another reliever warming up for the Angels. Remember, this is a bullpen game. We have a chance to have had 13 relievers in this game today.
Didn't we have that last year against the Angels?
Yep.
Right? We had a game where there was, didn't Mike Scioscia set the record?
Yeah. Was it last year that he
it was
started?
last year,
He
right?
started
In September.
It was a bullpen game. I think he used 9 himself.
Yeah, we don't want that. Two pitch is foul back. Sosha, of course, his contract is up. Some interesting rumors coming out here in Southern California whether he will be back or not. Consecutive seasons managing a club, Mike Sosha 19. Connie Mack 50.
Walter Olson in there. Bobby Cox, sort of.
Mike Sosha, well, he's been here a long time. Garcia chased the ball. Familia will take it, and that's a strikeout.
Heater up. That's going to get it done. Juris Familia. Here he come. 97 arm side run up and out. Garcia knew it before the ball hit the catcher's glove. No chance.
So 1 away. Here's Eric Young.
You know, we look at how long Sosha's been here in Anaheim, and I was sort of touching on a couple innings ago the way the game has gone, and he has been a witness to the evolution of the game, bullpenning, and how it has taken effect at the major league level. Some teams, a la the Tampa Bay Rays, with their roster construction, has sort of lent itself to experimenting with that approach more so than some other clubs that have taken the more traditional rotation approach supported by a bullpen. But with the effort to speed the game up, the effort to try to attract more fans to the game, and all of the rules that have been applied in an effort to do so, all of the mound meeting rule, you wonder if the approach of bullpenning and what it does to a game, if there might be some minimum performance standards set forth, meaning you bring a reliever in, he's going to have to see at least 3 batters. You can't force him to record X amount of outs, but you can maybe force him to face X amount of batters. And you wonder if anything like that is on the table for negotiations for the next CBA.
Interesting thought. Lowry slides to his right. Lowry flips to first. 2-1. And now to the top of the order in Cole Calhoun. He's bullpen. I think it's been the best story of this season as far as the success the A's are having. Since July 22nd, the bullpen as a group, 5-1, 1.82. Yeah, we are family. They are a tight group down there, and you know what? They've added 3 veteran arms.
Well, that's the thing. They've added to an already good bullpen. That's probably the biggest thing that the A's have done, and realizing that you can shorten the game. Case to date, Trevor Kehoe goes 4 2/3, doesn't even qualify for the win. And Munson's going to have to make the decision if the A's hang on who the winner is. From the Angels standpoint, it didn't matter. Because their starter was a reliever.
You know what, though? Ed Munson, it's Ed, right?
Yeah.
He listens to you. There's no reason why you can't just go or hold up a sign. Just give a name. He listens to you. Of course, if an official score doesn't listen to Ray, there's trouble.
No.
I like it.
It's a good man. He's very knowledgeable. Dave Feldman is one of the best we see in the Bay Area.
They need your help, man. We all need your help a little bit from time to time.
There's Mr. Munson. It's up there.
See, he's going to call Ray here in a little bit.
Oh, we have fun with Rosie in Chicago. Repeat. What do you think, Ray? Comes over and talks to Glenn. And what do you think that was?
I think he actually, like, if we said, Rosie, that's it. He's like, yeah, you're whatever. You're right. White Sox are 25 out.
Look at Gubazan.
1-2 to Cole Calhoun. There's Mark Gubaza on the left and Victor Rojas on the right. Our good buddies. They sit right next to us. They're a lot of fun. Listen, it's 3.5 hours. We're allowed to be a little silly, right, Ray?
Yeah.
Dallas, how you doing?
Water. Still hanging in, boys. Still hanging in. Got a towel, taking care of the perspiration. Just fine. Still at the ballpark. Not a bad day.
That's right. Just have Dick or.
Hey, we're going to come down there and get you to make sure you get on the charter back to the Bay Area.
Peel me off the asphalt down here.
A little bit low, 2-2 the count to Cole Calhoun, hitting for the 5th time.
Mark Gubaza, when he pitched for Kansas City, whenever he took his stride, his right knee, which is a push off, you see dirty spot because it's how low he was pushing off.
Big strong guy.
Yeah. Won the World Championship in Kansas City, 1985. Wanted to get in 15. He went back to Cooperstown, but Vladimir Guerrero's induction to Cooperstown, the Hall of Fame.
Close pitch, and now it's a full count. Calhoun a double, an RBI ground out, a fly ball to center, and a walk. And the payoff pitch is outside. He walked it. That's walk. 4. Yep. Walk number 4 by A's pitchers, and here's Upton.
Now this is where guys got to be careful. A guy like Familia obviously knows how to handle business at the back end of a ball game here. Not the save situation he's used to, though. One swing, and the Angels are right back in this thing. Only 3 down. It's time to buckle down and focus.
And that one line down the left field line, fair. Into the corner, bangs off the wall. Here comes Calhoun to third. He'll stop there. So Upton with the double, and once again the Angels are going to get the tying run to the plate, and it's going to be Shohei Ohtani.
Again. And what's really amazing, Fernando Rodney got the 2 outs, then he gets up a double and strikeout. Familia gets a strikeout, a ground ball, then a walk to Calhoun, which he did before Ohtani faced with Trevino and ambushed it again. Justin Upton.
That's funny, Ray. You stretch this back a little bit. In the 5th inning, the Angels had a run in. They had a runner at second, 2 outs.
That's right.
Fernandez did not score. 6th inning, 1st and 2nd, actually 2nd and 3rd, and that was Ohtani, and he struck out. 7th inning, 2-out double, could not get hit home, and here in the 8th, 2nd and 3rd. And that one's hit toward left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. 2 runs are going to score, and it's 8-7. Kind of an inside-out swing, but Ray, you said it. Ohtani, he sort of hits the ball that way.
Exactly. And again, nothing inning for 2 batters, and then all of a sudden 3 consecutive. A walk, a double, an inside-out swing by Ohtani, and a 2-run single, and with 2 outs, both runners on the move. Finally got it. So
Ohtani gets RBIs 33 and 34. And now Albert Pujols steps up, 8-7. It was 8-3. First pitch to Pujols is right in there for a strike.
Blake Treinen's heating up. Heating up, not necessarily just for the ninth. Definitely too late. I'm sorry. Get a runner on base. You cannot allow a hitter to get and ask for timeout. And I mean, he's ready to throw and he put up his hands. And Stu Shearwater should have said, "You can't. I don't allow it." And a pitcher is going to get hurt sometime if you let that happen. There's Blake Treinen heating up in the bullpen.
Ohtani has good speed, so keep an eye on that with the ball in the gap.
You know, it's almost like a gotcha for a pitcher. You know, you start to throw, is he going to step out? And just why not drill the hitter? Just drill it. If the umpire calls time, just drill it. Just finish it. But most guys will try to stop the way Familia did. Good breaking ball for the second strike.
Pitch toward Chapman. Chapman throws in time, and the side is retired, but 2 runs for the Angels. So we got a tight one, folks. 8-7 as we head to the ninth.
Let's author the then greatest win streak in baseball history. 20 straight wins propelled the A's to the playoffs. Join us as we celebrate the return of the streak team. It's on Saturday, August the 18th against the Astros, 1:05 p.m. First 15,000 fans will receive a streak team t-shirt. It's presented by Cash Street Casino Resort. Grab your 50th anniversary memory. For tickets, head to athletics.com. Well, this is almost like the streak game, the 20th, where the A's had an 11-0 lead, and now they're hanging on to a 9-8 lead. So how about some more runs?
So it's Blake Parker coming in here in the top of the ninth.
Take that back. It's 8-7. It's a 1-run game regardless, but it's 8-7.
Now Chris Davis to lead it off. Sacrifice fly, strikeout, double hit by a pitch so far for Davis. Strike on the outside corner. 7th pitcher of the afternoon for the Angels is Blake Parker. So we knew that coming in, that it was a bullpen game. Swings. Been Cole, Alvarez, Johnson, Robles, Paredes, Jerez, and now Parker.
Since the Pender base hit, it's back in the 5th inning. That Squibbler. It's the last run the A's have scored. Calhoun robbed him of a home run.
And Davis swings and misses. So that is 15 strikeouts today by Angels pitchers.
See that little wrinkle down and in. They were trying to go away. Might have backed up a little. Toughest pitch in baseball to hit.
So 1 out for Olsen. Swing and a miss. Hey, we got to give our Nashville Sounds update. They won again, Ray. 13 consecutive wins for the A's AAA affiliate in Nashville. So they won today 9-7 in 10 innings.
That's right.
So we're going to keep an eye on that. That's good stuff. Sitting on a 13-game winning streak. It's hard to do.
No matter where you're playing, it's hard to do.
It's hard to do in Little League. Olsen a single, knocked in a run, and scored in the first, then a fly ball to center and a couple of strikeouts. In the bottom of the 9th, it'll be Jose Fernandez, a left-handed hitter, David Fletcher, a right-handed hitter, and then Caleb Cowart, a switch hitter. Missed again.
If you score 8 runs in a game, shouldn't have to be worrying about who's going to be hitting the bottom of the 9th inning.
I agree.
But unfortunately, the A's are concerned about the 3 hitters who are at least leading off.
Olsen out in front a little bit. Ball was on the outer part of the strike zone. So a long day at the ballpark. About 3.5 hours in. One of the Angels pitchers, 1 walk and 15 strikeouts.
Yeah. Well, maybe Parker try to throw a 3-2 fastball and Ole can hit in the seats.
Skies one. And it's going to be into the seats, just foul. So he did what you told him to do, Ray. It just was a foul ball.
Wrong seats.
He hit one into the seats.
I want all those shiny seats in right field.
Yeah, I got you. Oh, look at that shadow. Maybe that'll help Blake Trinan in the bottom of the 9th inning. Right on top, the catcher. Another pop-up, and again into the seats. Canna waits in the on-deck circle. Pitchers total used today. right center field. Nobody's going to get it. Hops the wall. Olsen into second, and he's in there with a double. A loud double.
The loud noise is right. The big man, Matt Olsen, gets a pitch out that he can extend on, gets around it, hooks this thing up into the gap. Take a look at Cole Calhoun, all in one foul swoop. Collects it, reverse pivot. Nice strong throw into second base. All in vain as Ole slides into second with a double here in the ninth.
So an insurance run would be a decent idea. See if Mark Canna can do that. Canna is 0 for 3. After today's game, the A's will have 44 games left in this season. 25 home and 19 on the road. Hooked foul.
Well, these days have a couple of opportunities to drive in an insurance run, especially with a hot hitting Marcus Semien in the on deck circle. Mark Canna, good hot hitter himself. He's been swinging the bat well. At times not a lot to show for it. Never count him out because he, as he says, he likes to channel every swing into a good one.
So 2-1 to Canna. Semien waits in the on-deck circle for the A's. Outfield shifted toward right center. Canna hits one high and foul and into the seats down the right field line. Canna digs back in. Olsen, pretty good lead at second base. And another full count, 3-2.
Parker's been known to give it up, and maybe the A's can take advantage of it because
the A's have had, I don't know the numbers, but it seems like they've always handled Parker fairly well.
To the point that he's coming to save games, Mike Scioscia hasn't left him in because he's given up too much in the ninth inning. So Middleton became a closer for a while. So he got hurt. Looks like the Dodgers got to be looking for a closer. Huh?
Yeah, they lost again today. Rockies walked him off again.
After last night, that had to be devastating.
Yeah. So the Arizona Diamondbacks are now in first place by themselves in the National League West. Another 3-2 to Canna. And he got him swinging. So that's the pitch that Parker relies on. A split finger, and he's not afraid to throw it.
No, he's not, especially in this situation with a runner at second base. He's willing to go to it, and it goes straight down. And you know, Cap, just as you talked about the shadows, just as that pitch was made, looked at the shadows at right on home plate.
Yep.
And
they moved quickly.
They moved quickly, and at the point of the splitter, a good pitch to throw, especially when it's difficult to pick up the spin.
First pitch to Marcus Semien in first drive. Another big day for Marcus Semien. Single, double, strikeout.
Amazed with just enough to left field. I mean, granted, they're thinking about throwing out Olsen if there's a base hit, but man, he's playing very shallow, and I think that's why the double that was hit by Semien got over his head. That hit off the ball. Like trying to ready to come in. Like to get an insurance run. Everybody else in the outfield playing very deep.
Inside, Eric Young. Eric Young's been playing deep the whole series.
Right.
He's way out there.
That curveball just thrown by Parker. That's one that Semien, as he did last night against Skaggs, of course, a left-hander, but he pulled it down the left field line. But you hang a curveball, Marcus is very good at top hand of the ball down in the corner.
Missed the inside and it hit him. Another hit batter.
Yeah, that was a breaking ball, so I don't know. It's 5.
I think it's 5. Yep, 5.
5 and
well, you can see initially the frustration. You can understand the frustration from Marcus Semien, but Foss, as you pointed out, it's a breaking ball. If you're going to send a message, you got 95 in the back pocket, there's a good chance you're not throwing a wrinkle in it.
And I don't think the number 14 in the manager is going to allow, especially when they have crept back within 1. And the last thing he wants to see is even an extra run scored, and especially be thrown at somebody.
So 2 on 2 out for Pinder. Pinder takes low. 25 pitches for Blake Parker. So missed again. 2-0. Pinder is 1 for 3. This is a no fun day if you're a manager and the pitching coach, where you got to have a bullpen day. And kind of grinding through it. Queued up the first base line. Parker's going to take it himself. He'll tag Pinder. So when it's all said and done, Parker gets out of the jam. We're headed to the bottom of the 9th. The A's all-star closer, Blake Treinen, coming in, trying to win the series.
He got his 1,000th hit, and how about a 2-run home run? This was a big one because it really helped the Athletics. At one time, a 4-run lead made it 7-3, and then 8-3, and now 8-7 with Blake Treinen coming on. But Jed Lowry, a good day for him. As Lowry with the double, 2-run home run, a walk. And playing his outstanding defense anyway. Between innings, Kipe had a little Marcus Semien towards the pitcher's mound, and 3 umpires converged. And I don't know, I did not see a warning, but 5 batters hit, but I think you really have to look at the type of pitches that were thrown for the hit batters. And granted, nobody likes to get hit. You're upset no matter whether it's curveball or fastball. Not a good time to warn benches for sure.
So Treinen to the mound looking for his 30th save. It was 5 hit batters today. That is obviously a season high, and it ties an Oakland A's record. So that could be what, not could be. That is what the A's are maybe a little miffed about for obvious reasons. But plus it hurts.
Well, they do. That's what I say. No matter what you get hit by, I mean, curveball, slider, fastball, change, it doesn't matter. If you're going to be a hero, stand up there and get hit one time.
Most of the time it's not being done on purpose,
but it hurts.
So there's Treinen with his 29 saves. He's 4th in the American League in saves. Diaz has a huge lead with his 46. On the left field line, could be trouble, but foul. So 1-1 the count to Jose Fernandez, who's got a couple of hits tonight. He's 2 for 4. At the Coliseum, Sean Manaea and Marco Gonzalez. Make sure you're there.
Inside out swing by Fernandez down the left field line. It was going to land, and fortunately for the A's, it landed foul. Henry's got the sun in his eyes in right field as the shadow is now creeping over the home plate area.
There's that hard slider by Treinen, but it's way inside. 2-1.
The shadows start to creep, and within a few minutes here, they're going to be creeping over to the right side of Blake Treinen's body, and Blake Treinen's arm and that ball are both going to be coming out of the shadow into the sun, back into the shadow. Very difficult task for the hitter.
And there's a liner foul, so Fernandez has covered both foul lines. And luckily for the A's, neither ball has been fair.
Well, Olsen guarded the line, and he went over and almost pulled his glove back, and of course, clearly in foul territory, didn't have a chance with the ball hooking away from him, so just that illusion of him pulling the glove back. There's the sun in right field, and just like at the Coliseum, it is the longest in that area with the sun brightly shining.
And he got him. Slider down and in, and Fernandez strikes out. 1 away.
Well, it's time to wipe out, and that's exactly what Treinen does here. 92 slider back foot action. Fernandez covered the left side, as you mentioned. Foss covered the right side, got the head out. But here, in an effort to try to do so, he just gets beaten, abused to the back foot.
A's with a 22-10 record in 1-run games. That's the best in the big leagues.
This is a hitter you have to be concerned about. Fletcher, kind of a pesky hitter, and I mentioned hitting a lot of home runs during batting practice. But the outfield, the infield, everybody playing is straight up, textbook as anybody.
Good pitch, sinker right at the knees, 99 miles an hour.
Go back to the series in Toronto when Josh Fegley came in for the weekend. Bruce Maxwell not able to travel to Toronto, and he did a very good job handling Blake Treinen. Again, in a situation where that's perfect. See, and then he blocks the ball there. That's what he did in Toronto, and that was for first and second. This time, strike 3, and so he goes sinker, fastball, fastball, and then a hard slider. Watch Josh Fegley do a great job blocking the ball in the dirt and the hard slider with 2 strikes. You have to do it. Fegs does a good job making sure the ball stays in front, tags Fletcher, and not much of an opportunity for Fletcher to do anything. And maybe he didn't even see the 3 pitches because the shadows are very tough, as Dallas pointed out. Right now, that light standard
First pitch to Caleb Cowart is in for a strike. Cowart is 0 for 4.
95-mile-an-hour first pitch slider, no big deal.
Swing and a miss. That slider, it just disappears with such high velocity.
Well, and the important thing is to throw it hard, man. The last thing you want to do with the left-handed hitter, the slider coming in to hang it. And when in doubt, throw it hard, let it bounce, and especially to the back foot. And if the hitter has a tough time picking up the spin, he's going to think it's a fastball and swing over, as he has done twice.
Don't want to have a bug in your ear when you're trying to get the final out. 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Trinan strikes out the side in the bottom of the 9th, and the A's win the series 2-1 down here in Anaheim. And Ray, the A's are 2.5 games behind the first place Houston Astros in the AL West. How about that?
Well, again, you're going back to mid-June when the season began for the Athletics. It was the A's losing the Friday night game to the Angels. They won the next 2, and since then they have been unbelievable in the way they have played, and they did it today with Trinan coming in to strike out the side in the 9th inning. And that was sweet because it looked ugly in the 8th inning with a couple of runs scored for the Angels.
All right, time of game was 3 hours and 49 minutes. 38,364 was your attendance. The final score from the Big A this afternoon: the Oakland A's 8 and the Los Angeles Angels 7. Time now for A's Post Game Live. Let's head to the studio where Brody Brazil is standing.